Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper's Viperland, and I am here with what to me is a first time, a new SCIADV game on release. On release, because I ordered the physical copy, and it took a little bit to get here. Technically released Friday, I'm playing this Sunday, but you know, whatever. I had a party to attend to yesterday, and it didn't show up until yesterday, so I couldn't have streamed Friday, but you know, release weekend counts for me. I basically know nothing about it. I know it came with a sweet steelbook case, which is the reason I didn't get it digitally, because I wanted the sweet steelbook case. That was the sole reason. And technically it only came a day late, but it made it 2 days late for me. So, we're gonna head on in. Let's just make sure... I like text slaves this way, speed faster. We shouldn't be doing auto for now. Skip read only. Yep, cool. Voice language Japanese. I'm glad it has a dub, but we've played all of these through in Japanese, and I'm going to keep it going that way. Awesome, it has a dub. That opens it up to a bunch of new people who don't like the subs, and it lets English voice talent flex their muscles. I like both of those things, but I'm playing it on Japanese. Volume is probably going to be okay. I can adjust that as we go. I don't want to mess with it now. Go background music during voice play. I'll leave that on default. Alright, cool. We'll set it at that. We'll see how it goes. I'll say, Sora, how's it going? And Ark, welcome both of you to Viperland in the chat. Let's get started. I'm playing it off camera, but I'm also very distracted by playing other games too. But I started it off camera. Game start. I don't want to load. I want a new game. Blind. Huh. You load the data not found. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Hold on tight, Momo. Oh man, the way he looks on the cover of the game, he looks like Asta. But yeah. There's gonna be some contention for best game of the year, depending on who you ask, because there's so many good games that came out this year. Bravo 1, establish contact with the target at Mina Midai intersection in 12 seconds. 88% chance they'll turn right onto the road ahead of it. Bravo 1, once you confirm the right turn, proceed 60 meters south. I thought I set it to like faster text speed, but whatever. This is Bravo 1, copy that. Target is taking the right turn, heading south. Intercept target again in 11 seconds. Bravo 1. See, maybe it auto syncs it to the voice. Bravo 1, stand by. Target has turned right again. They're now passing the residential area and heading towards Loop 7. Oh, I mean, they're usually unofficial, but yeah, I wonder what the main pro tag will drink. Yes. Where's Alpha 2? I think the only, like, official... I mean, they eventually did an official tie-in with Steins Gate and Dr. Pepper, but that was long after the game happened. I think the only official tie-in that I recall was the Go-Go Curry Steins Gate 0. That was official. Like, that was real. Heading south on Loop 7, they'll pass the central line in about 10 seconds. Get them to the Honan police box, fast! Bravo 1. Remain on standby. Target will reach Honan intersection in 28 seconds. Probability of them heading straight is at 61%. 24% chance they'll take a left turn. Clearly, yes. This is Alpha 2. We'll need 60 seconds. What's the status on the mobile connection to the grabber? No success yet. Target's changing their address manually every second. Okay, so if I hit that, it stops the voice. Keep trying until you get through. This is Rhino Leader. Alpha 2, fire warning shots. Doesn't matter if you can't see the target. I don't like that. I wish I could hit the button and the voice would keep going just so I could see the text, or the text would go quicker. I swear I set it to Swear I set it to fast. Yeah. Text display speed. Well, then it is what it is. The residential area. Are you sure? I am. I'll take responsibility. I'm still sad that we didn't get Chaos Head Noah on PlayStation Network, so I'll always be that one platinum short, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to have another side to beat platinum. Hopefully. Maybe it's got some crazy impossible trophy, I don't know. To that. Alpha 2. Do as instructed. This is Alpha 2, firing warning shots. The target will reach Honan intersection. 6, 3, 2, 1, left turn! Heading south down Loop 7. Bravo 3 has assumed position on Koshu Kaido. Also, be ready for me to mispronounce all the things. MobCon successful. We've infiltrated the target system. Good. Break them to a stop. Roger. Cool cat press. I doubt it. I don't think that's been mentioned in the game outside of that. But I also didn't play them in specific order, so like I'm not sure. Came out after Chaos Child. I think like game release wise, and I could be wrong, it's been a while since I looked at the release order. I think after Chaos Child was Steins Gate 0 and Robotics Note Stash. I want to say they alternated. I want to say it was Chaos Steins Robot, Chaos Steins Robot, but I could be mistaken. It's checkmate. What is it? The target stopped at the center of Aura intersection. I haven't used the MobCon to hack them yet. What? Did they know we were coming? The intersection was surrounded by multiple armored vehicles. I mean, it sounds like you guys haven't been subtle. But you know, whatever. Helicopter circled overhead but made no attempt to land. Yeah, subtlety not high on your list. A short time later, another armored vehicle pulled into the intersection from Nakano. Also, yeah, the text is going perfectly fast. It just syncs it to voices, I guess, when it's voiced. While the other vehicles kept their distance, this one came right up to the grapper. That's right. Stand by at high altitude. Don't come down. We don't know what they're up to. Yes. Disregard what Oranos says. While relaying some orders through an old-fashioned transceiver, a burly soldier stepped out of the vehicle to face down the boy and girl. Yo! You stopped by yourself. Smart move. Don't put up a front. You know you're relieved, am I right? Getting your ass handed to you by a little punk like me must have done a number on your pride as a soldier. Sorry, but I'm no script kitty. Also, yes, cat outfit. But the cat outfit is very weird because there's paws coming out of the head, which is unusual. But you know, it's fine. Hand her over. Obviously no. She's not your property. Said hand her over. Let you offer something in return. Sweeten the deal. I might say yes. A gunshot rang out. The soldier had shot the rear wheel of the grapper with his handgun. The damage was done. With its superconductive motor out of commission, the grapper wasn't going anywhere. You jackass. The army better pay you enough to cover the repair bill. Despite losing his means of escape, the boy was unfazed. In fact, he glared at the soldier more intensely than before. You don't seem to understand your situation. You have two options. Spend your life in jail, or die here. We'll write it off. It's an accident. Pick one. Ah, true, you're right. I don't vibe with either. Your future is in my hands. Really? In those huge, trash human paws you got there? Give me your answer. Don't underestimate me. Listen up. In exactly 51 seconds, that transceiver you got hanging there is gonna go off. Wait. You're gonna get an order to retreat. And your captain's authority won't mean shit, because that order is coming straight from the government. The government. Not a specific member, just the government. While you're all shook up, I'll take Momo and run. You'll come chasing after us, of course. But you won't get far. Because a passing car is gonna knock you flat on the road. It's the future I want. Ah. So you've set the bar pretty high. What the shit is that? Retreat order in 51 seconds? A car hitting me? You crack me up. I'll give you that. But that's enough. Oh hey. It's 51 seconds. Answer it, army guy. This is Rhino Leader. Captain, we were ordered to retreat. Hmm? What? Our politicians higher up the food chain chickened out. Seems they favor the status quo. The target's right here. You're the ones who turned the chase into a shit show. It's your own fault, losers. Alright then, peace. Just gonna casually jump off. Alright. She's got the big cat paws for landing. Also, I like the comic style. Dig that. You can't escape. Shit! Oh, hey, look, a car. The car door opened and the man inside called out to the boy. Get in. You're late, Oz. Oh? With the dazed girl slouching beside him, the boy leapt into the retro car. Hit the gas. I like how even the feet on the big cat outfit are like big cat feet. Clearly all the better to land from great heights. Well, we got an escape vehicle. It actually happened. Huh. Although, I mean, you know, yeah, it's pretty close. Why is all this happening anyway? Yeah, you'll be fine. Probably. This part of the bots. Oh no, okay. My calculations are undeniable proof that this world consists of mathematical equations. Thought it was going to be the opening. It's good to say. Oh, maybe it is. The golden ratio, 1 to 1.618, ever present and ever repeating. Because we know the openings always get muted. Familiar scenery demonstrates the apparent chaos of this world. But Fibonacci was correct all along. Sunflower, a snail shell, swirling clouds in the sky, ocean currents, and even a galaxy. They all follow the exact same principle. Yeah, everything is in an aggregate of numerical sequences. That includes animals, and of course, humans. I have to say, God must be an unparalleled mathematician. There is no me as a physical entity in this world. I only exist in your perception. We prove that to you. Enough talking. Let me get to it, so... It's thematically cool when they match the text to the voices, but if I'm trying to, like, narrate along, there's definitely going to be times where I'm going to have to just wait for it to go. Oh, where are you now? Right in front of the building. 3rd floor, right? Yeah. Cafe called Incarnation, of course. No idea there was a place like this, so close to the symphony. Things get hot, just turn and run. SA4D network set to be disposed of in 2045. USA disapproves. Yep. Gotcha. Bro, why the hell did we take this job anyway? There had to be others, right? From people who actually needed help? Because this is exactly the kind of job us white hats take. We've done it plenty of times before, haven't you? Yeah. And I've had enough of them. I want to quit this whole thing. Not a hacker, because I want to be. Save that for when you've got the skills to back it up. Yeah, he had a point. I wasn't some elite hacker. But whatever. I've taken the job, so I was gonna do it. I had to make a living one way or another. Look back at the building. Hey, seems like the 4th floor is empty. You think that's a coincidence? Yeah, we actually kind of pretty far forward at this rate. Don't know why stomach's being a pain, but it's being a pain. I didn't eat anything with... No, I did eat stuff with tomatoes in it today, and I didn't take Tums. That's why. That's why. I had high fried rice with big chunks of tomato in it. Didn't think. That's why. I was like, why is my stomach being weird? Seems sus to me, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah. Something's off. Except we don't know where to try it if the 3rd floor comes up empty. Right about this? You're treating me to some donuts. Singular. No more. Oh, who eats a donut? Weaklings. 2 plural, 1 cinnamon sugar, and 1 old-fashioned. What's an old-fashioned donut? Just plain? Just... Deal. Job always goes a little smoother with some bonus incentive on the table. Oh. Oh. There was only 1 free table by the time I arrived. Close call. If I'd been a little later, I would have been turned out on my ass. The cafe was full of AR-based fairy and elf characters. They fit the feel of the place. Okay, so how do we do... aha! Oh, we had a few. Okay. Short for augmented reality, refers to technologies that overlay reality with digital data. By 2037, BMI technology has enabled AR to become widespread. Virtual images, text, 3D models, etc. are displayed within the user's field of vision in real time. A recent development has made it possible for such non-real things to deliver actual tactile sensations. Script kiddie, a derogatory term for less than capable hackers. Specifically refers to hackers that commit malicious cyber attacks despite having little knowledge or skill themselves, opting to use tools and scripts developed by other people. Yeah, I kind of figured so. Mobile connection, a term used to describe the act of externally connecting to a vehicle's system. In 2037, vehicles registered to the database of Japan's Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, that's a whole lot, MLIT, can, with the MLIT's permission, be connected to from the outside. While the Army and Police use the system to, for example, stop vehicles being driven by fugitives, cases in which it is used by criminals themselves are on the rise. Grabber. Ooh, that's also known as grabber motorbikes. Grabbers are a type of two-wheeled motorcycle equipped with self-driving technology. These gyro to remain upright in any situation. Driving them is functionally no different from driving any other two-wheeled vehicle. They even require the same license. Equipped with G6 GPS, they calculate both their own movements and those of other vehicles in real time to automatically prevent traffic accidents, ineffective when the control system is disabled. The motor uses an electromagnetic accelerator system. Grabber is a neologism that combines the words gravity and permission. The name refers to how it uses its gyro to remain upright despite being two-wheeled, making it look as though it defies gravity. As a vehicle capable of autonomous driving, it can also be remotely called to its owner's current position. Badass motorcycle. Nice. Also, apparently, hitting the pad changes just to see what's actually there. So, you know, there's gotta be a way to do that. Hold on. Well, when in doubt, always save. Like, if I'm in the menu, there's no reason not to save. Oh. So you have to load that file to start it, and you can't save over it. Interesting. Help might be it? Aha, tips list, hacking trigger, skip text. So you don't want to hit L1. Don't want to hit R1 either. Squares auto mode, that's also not great. Hide UI, stop upload, stop skip, move cursors. Okay. Yeah, so if you hide the UI, it shows what's really there. Made sound out? Yeah, except it's real world. Everything is augmented reality. It's the future, man. We're in SAO and Akira. We got SAO overlays and we've got Akira motorcycles. The thing is, if we have Akira motorcycles, that means we are contractually obligated to do the Akira slide at some point during this game. Some point during this game that has to happen, and if it doesn't, the contract has been breached and somebody's coming after the game designers. All the girls working here were seriously stunning. So it's this kind of place. Oh, I wish that was faster. You want a refund? No. What did you think it was gonna be? What did you think? There's no giant mushroom there either, and it's just lit normally. You're falling for it. I'm not. Focus on the job. I am. The actual cafe. Yeah, who would have thought it would actually be a cafe? Crazy. You're not actually sitting in the middle of an inn. I mean, they showed us in like a city. What did you think it was going to be in here? Like a futuristic city. Thanks for being so patient. Here's your iced tea. Thanks. Hee. First time in a place like this? It's the reviewer's AR cafe. Doesn't matter. What? She suddenly started whispering in my ear. It's so cute how tense you are. Want to come to my place tonight? Come on, we'll have a lot of fun. I'm not supposed to do this, but could make an exception for you. Yeah, something tells me clearly this is more common than it would seem if he's been here for 30 seconds and it's the first thing you said. No, I'm working right now. Working? In a place like this? No, crap, I went and said it. You really are cute. Sorry if it came on too strong. Have a good time. She blew me a kiss and walked away. Oh, that was a close one. Right, you've never been to places like this. Let me give you a word of advice. Don't need it. That girl was wicked cute. Yeah. But I got rid of her. I've got it all under control. Yeah. Minor mishap, but I'm back on track. Are you, though? Are you? What I wanted to warn you about. An AR cafe, so I thought you'd be aware, but none of the employees there are women. I was gonna say, you shouldn't let appearances deceive you. Huh? Not a single woman? Are you serious? Blurted out loud in surprise. Everyone stopped and to stare at me. Sorry, I should have mentioned it earlier. Okay, but they talked and acted just like women. Yeah, it's almost like you could put a voice filter and people can act. I heard the Bob and Niku concept exploded in popularity 20 years ago, and all the men who wanted to be pretty girls moved to VR. Alright, one of those words I don't recognize. Internet slang from the Japanese BA Arkarana Bishouju ni Junikusuru, which roughly translates to assuming the flesh of a virtual pretty girl. Oh, okay. If she's virtual, why should it matter if the person inside is a grown woman, a young girl, or a human being at all? This concept became commonplace between the years 2018 and 2020. I haven't heard of it, but I'm not brushed up on my internet slang from Japan, so. And girls now and forever. I mean, to be fair, it's not that I RP in 14, but yeah, I got a female character. Short for virtual reality. It refers to technologies that allow people to experience computer-generated 3D spaces as though they were real. In 2037, VR has become mainstream in the form of full dive VR, in which people control VR avatars with their brainwaves, and senses experienced by the avatars are sent back to the brain. During a dive, the user's real body enters a state akin to a coma. And emotions within the virtual space are never translated into actual movement. That's what I heard online. Does that mean all the customers here were fine with being served by guys? That's exactly what it means, yes. What could the secret behind this cafe's popularity possibly be? It clearly gives the customers exactly what they want. Maybe I'll take a quick peek with my own eyes. Are you sure? There's bold, and then there's reckless. Dude, don't make it sound like a big deal. I braced myself and turned off my BMI. Yeah, which I had already seen before. I assume that's like the eye implant or whatever. Short for brain-machine interface. It refers to technologies that enable digital data to directly influence one's neural network. It allows for both the display of digital data within a person's own vision and connection to the internet, supporting real-time linkage to vast amounts of data. The public is still divided on this technology, with its detractors claiming that it's a sign that of the coming singularity, that it has adverse effects on the brain, or that it assists and encourages criminal behavior. In 2037, it has an adoption rate as high as 90% among people under 30 and barely above 50% in seniors over 60. It is most commonly used by equipping an electrode piercing in the upper ear, then clipping a device known as a carinoid to it. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those like things that seems really futuristic until it's like, I feel like we're closer to that than it seems. But also, I don't know how I would take to it. Like, yeah, cyberpunk stuff seems pretty cool. But, I don't know. I feel like you have to have the tightest security possible on that, and it doesn't matter how tight security people think they've got on things. Everything gets hacked already. I don't really need my brain among those things. Yeah, nobody wants to be the first gen. I don't know if I'd want to be the 20th gen. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, by the time that happens, I'd be in the over 60 crowd probably. So, like, yeah. Okay. I got it. Don't cry. I'm not. This is a whole new world to me. I'm just kind of shocked. You know, fair, I guess. The employees were actually a bunch of chubby middle-aged men with running shirts tucked into their shorts. Pretty old fit. Their feminine business names were written in a large font on their running shirts, which only brought me closer to tears. Anyway, I'd like to get back to our mission. Yeah, we kind of have important stuff here. Just... Tears dry now? Just talk. Come on, get over it. Alright, here's a review. Our client is Grind, one of the Piquet app stores. Pictogram Information and Quantum Technologies Operation Systems, or Piquet OS, is an internet browser OS. In 2037, it is used by a whopping 90% of all internet users. Though originally developed for PC, it is now often presented as an OS for the BMI. Excuse me. Piquet OS was created and run by a Japanese programmer until Google bought it in 2029 for the sum of, oh boy, 460 million? Yeah, $460 million. That actually seems pretty low, all things considered. That shows how fast, like, global inflation is happening. That from the time this game was written, which was not long ago, I don't believe. Like, I know it's not, didn't simultaneously release here in Japan. It's been out for a little bit, but like, ooh boy, inflation's happened. Also, hey Pots, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. We playing in the future. We got Akira motorcycles. We got cyber brain implants. We got augmented reality fairy taverns. Everything you want from the future. Oh, dang it. 3 days ago, someone stole the data of about 40,000 of the customers. Do we have... Oh, I don't know if we have a... Hold on. That's not what I'm looking for. Do we have a... Check previous... Oh, it's triangle for backlog. Okay. So if I want to go backlog, we can. Okay, cool. Gotcha. These games, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it'll be like robotics notes, where only one super messed up thing happens instead of lots of pretty darn messed up things happen. Who knows? 2 days ago, someone stole the data. Oh, yeah. Digging to access logs and whatnot led us to Incarnation, the cafe you're in right now. We found traces of the data thief, which led to the cafe's server. First 2 floors are court, a coffee room. 4th is empty. 5th is Tori Gozuku. 6th is Winona, a beauty salon. 7th, Nakano Dental Clinic. 8th, Nakano Social Club, a ballroom dance school. Okay. Yeah, super cool prosthetics, right, Pots? Our job is to delete the data before they can screw people over. The server here was impossible to access from the outside, which only made it more suspicious. That's why I had to get it in like this. Honestly, I would have preferred a job with bad guys I could deal with out in the open. Wait. Looks like it's showtime. We knew this cafe held mini concerts every day at 7 p.m. Spotlights lit the stage as 4 beautiful girls came out. One more joined them before long. She made her entrance from a room further back. Apparently the name is Electra. The Demi-Fiend. Yeah, and the protagonist has a very reminiscent look to Asta from Black Clover. Oh, man. I can tell from the audience passion that this manager, Electra, was the most popular one. I don't want to imagine what the person under the alluring skin really looked like. It's all this staff who are working today. I'd come here at this time for exactly this reason, to get access to the empty staff room. Let's do it. Got your back. As everyone was getting hyped for the concert, I made it like I was going to the bathroom and snuck into the room further in. I'm in. The paper, soft table dusters. Can't read anything on the board. Coffee, black, in what looks to be a milk carton, like a chocolate milk carton. Definitely some sort of bento, some cards, some cables. That was about 10 minutes long. Find the data before it's over. Also, hey 7th, how's it going? Welcome to Paperland in the chat. Oh man, this doesn't even capture it as well as the cover. Probably gonna have glare, but the cover really just makes it.
What the fuck?
On the cover, he just super looks it. Like, super looks it on the cover. Like, I can't not see it. It helps that he's yelling on the cover, you know, Asta's natural state of being. Piece of cake. But now he's used to jobs that involve sneaking in someplace to steal data. I checked out the cafe's floor plan before coming. According to that, the server room was behind a door in the staff room. Put my hand on the doorknob, but before I could even check whether it was locked, I quickly backed away from the door. Cross. There's someone in there. Yeah, paper soft with a W for some reason. What? I almost exposed myself. Is this my cue to turn back? Nah. Let's see. Put my ear to the door. That way I could hear the guys inside. There are 2, no, 3 of them. Can you find out who they are? Give me a sec. I left the snooping to Cross and strained my ears to listen. Telling you, it's gotta be Eve. Don't even try to argue. And make it yourself. Eve won't sell for shit. Mari would get double whatever Eve would. Double! Man, I don't get those damn normies. Mari's just a boring Gyaru character. Nerds and normies are like different characters. That's common sense. We've got our first iconic line. I get the feeling we'll probably have a lot more oofs added to the command too. What were they talking about? Got the room security cam, sending you the feed. One glance, and I knew they were shady. An employee posted on social media that the sub-manager named Kido is at the cafe, even though it's his day off. Also known as SNS, or Social Networking Services. In 2037, the term refers to BMI-based online communities. There are various kinds, with some requiring an invitation, others registration, or maybe something else. Text-centric communities are still going strong as well. It never killed just forums. Cross sent me a document with his portrait on it. I scanned it, and then the faces of the guys in the room. This way, one of my apps could do a side-by-side automatically. Neither of the faces I could make out were Kido's. He had to be the one in the VR goggles. He's the other 2, alright? But why are they working on tablets using their BMIs? That's old school. Nobody uses that stuff anymore. There had to be a reason. Saw the tablet screens on the camera feed and noticed that one showed a list of names. That had to be the customer data we came to delete. The other seemed to show a recording taken within a VR space. Was Kido seeing the same thing through those ancient goggles? There was a model of a girl lying in a bed. She had an anime-like face, but a photorealistic body, so she looked pretty uncanny. It's like they'd taken the body of a real woman and stuck an anime character's face on it. Also, hey Ramen, how's it going? Welcome to Piperland in the chat. Most of the stuff on the VOD is just context stuff. I wouldn't say you missed any massive plot. You've just missed context. We're in the future. Akira bikes are a real thing. We're a hacker. We're in a VR cafe. We're trying to find stolen data. And, cyberpunk, like, jacking into, like, your brain things are real. And we are backstage at a VR cafe trying to find people who stole people's data and delete it. And we're listening to this room. That's the main point. This is probably what they were talking about when they mentioned Eve and Mari. I ran an image search and sure enough got a heap of hits for an anime girl called Mari. They're making bootleg VR porn! Ah, true. Also, we have apparently a female friend who wears a catsuit. Not a Catwoman like black leather catsuit, like a cat onesie. Like that type of catsuit. I don't see any server there. Wait. Tablets are wired. The cables went up the wall and into a hole in the ceiling. So it is the 4th floor. Yeah, good. Clearly. Now I had some donuts to look forward to. The floor above only looked empty. These guys probably owned it and were using it as a server room. Got the other 2 identified. They're joint owners of Incarnation. What are they going to do with the customer data? Perhaps they want to spam the people on the list with ads? Excuse me. I can't speed up the text when they're reading it, otherwise it stops them from reading it out loud. And I don't want to interrupt the voice acting, but I want it to go faster. And I can't set it any faster. But I can hit the button to make it auto-fill out, but it stops. There's no... I looked. Like this text, unvoiced text, instant. That makes sense. The data came from an app store after all. So if I hit it, it just stops reading it. Apparently there are malicious ads out there that force connect you to VR spaces when you click on them. Ah yes, futuristic spam ads. which they'd presumably use to steal victims' personal data or extort people for money. Let's give them hell. Purge all the data from their server. It's not part of our job. Focus on deleting the customer data before they can abuse it. They ignore what they're doing? Dude, there's a crime happening right here, right now. You can tell the cops later. There's no need for you to go taking risks here. You gotta know when to back down. Does Pollen here seem like a guy who knows when to back? Whoa, hold it right there. Cross, forget risks and backing down and shit for a moment. Tell me one thing. What are we? You're bringing this up now. I said, what are we? Pro hacker duo. No, well, yeah, but no! We are Nakano Symphonies, a team of Anons with bright futures who can't sit idly by when someone's in need. Right? There's only me and Cross, so it wasn't much of a team, but still. Right? Play along. But man, he just had to get fired up all of a sudden. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I paid for the drink I hadn't touched and then left the cafe and went straight to the 4th floor. The place seemed empty, but the floor's air conditioning was on. In fact, the place was cold. I missed my jacket. Here's the server. There was a well-camouflaged room at the far end of the place, and the server was waiting for me inside. The hidden room was electromagnetically shielded, so wireless access from outside was off the table. That explained why they were working on ancient wired hardware. Good thing I agreed to this. I reached into my pocket, took out my keyboard. You're missing a few there, bro. Just, you're one or two short. It reminds me of the pirate keyboard. Just avast, R, exclamation point. It was a super basic type, with only the bare minimum number of keys, so it was small enough to fit into my pocket. Not the fanciest setup, but I could use special combinations to make over 250 different inputs. I had a pouch with extra keys too, so I could slap those on if I had to. Oh, expandable keyboard. Alright, this was my secret weapon! I kept saying I wanted to quit being a hacker, but for now, this was the only way I could fight. Once I established a wired connection between my Carionoid and the server, I prepped my keyboard. It's typing time! Or, typing stato. I've never gotten a recommended video for that. Yeah, but do it. Someone might be onto us. That's a really specific time to say that exact phrase when, like, somebody could have been onto you at any point, but, like, okay. I know. The spam's gonna fly in just a moment. Let's go have some fun in Dubai when the money comes in. Dubai? You're still living in the 10s or something? These days, it's all about locking yourself in VR. Oh yeah, Sword Art Online is real, and you can just enter VR space, and, like, that's a thing. Into something there. Hurry it up already. Chill, my man. Hmm? Huh? Hey, something's wrong with my screen. Same here. What's going on? What kind of error is this? This isn't an error. Someone found us. Who? Some other hackers. But how? We secured the server from outside access. Damn it! Hey, pull out the wire. Nakano. Symphony. Of course they have a logo for when they counter hack people. These assholes are just making fun of us now. Goddamn show-offs. Huh? The data's gone. No way. Shit. They screwed us. It was all for nothing. Damn it. Let's get the fuck out of here before the cops come. I mean, they've all been ID'd, so... I mean, they don't know that, but they've all been ID'd. Nice. Grind customers' data won't be compromised now. I'll inform the client. I don't think I went hard enough on those assholes. You overdid it. Come on, leave the rest to the police. This stuff was probably the tip of their illegal iceberg. Thanks for the support, Cross. This definitely wouldn't have gone so smoothly without you. Always get carried away. It's a blessing and a curse. Hey, what do you mean? I made the right calls, didn't I? Yeah, you did. Except for that whole Nakano Symphonies spiel. But when you came up with it, you were like, yeah, that's cool. Not saying I'm against it, it's just kind of embarrassing. Even in the future, the protag has to be a Chuny, but he's a hacker Chuny now. Let's throw a little party at Symphony tomorrow. See ya. No, it's kind of embarrassing. But I want to stop being a hacker and get out of the shadows. I want to be legit so I can be cool and say that kind of stuff with pride. City has seen better days. Of course. I mean, if he's going to be a hacker, I wouldn't be surprised if Daru's name comes up. I also feel like Daru has had the most presence outside of his game of all the SCIADV characters. I really feel like Daru shows up the most. Honestly, Daru and Krisu, because they're both active 4chan users, they show up a whole lot. Symphony, also, hey mates, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Symphony was an out-of-business retro cafe located inside the Hotel World Hall building in Nakano District 5. An Asian store. Ooh, good times. Good times. So you're well-fed and hopefully got some goodies otherwise. It was the inspiration for the name of the team I'd made. Nakano Symphonies. Yeah, really. You basically told people exactly where to find you, but okay, whatever. To be honest, I wanted us to leave this decaying building behind and move somewhere more practical. First though, we had to do more jobs and build up a reputation. Ooh, that does sound good. The things are going, Nakano Symphonies is gonna be famous in no time. We've only been around for a year, and we're already top tier. I'm shocked nobody has found you. You literally named yourself out of the physical location where you stay. And clearly you can out-hack a lot of people, but at least one person has to be able to just Google Nakano Symphonies, and they'll be like, oh, there's a decrepit Symphonies store in the Nakano building. Like, the man's name doxes himself. Yes, exactly. You meet in 30 minutes? Oh, yeah. I imagined that was not an issue. We're still young, and arms with bright futures. There's a bunch of doors ready and waiting for us to walk through them. 27 minutes long. That's why we're going to quit this whole hacking thing and find real jobs. Real jobs, such as... I'll think of something. I stuffed my cheeks with the cinnamon sugar donut. Then I chugged down some 7-Cup. Well, we know what the branded drink the protag likes is. 7-Cup. Yep. It was my go-to combo. Man, you're young. Bro, you're only a year older than me. Also keeping it real with you. I never go back on my word. I can walk the walk. Right. Dude. The style of hot boys. Do they? I can't say I've actually encountered one. All of my knowledge of Otome games He's actually Neo, the world ends with you. What was he smirking for? I was serious. But suddenly the guy with his head on the counter sat his plump body up and joined our conversation. I thought he was using the BMI VR model to dive into some digital world like he always did, but apparently he'd been listening to us. That's all for the most other videos. Okay. Yeah. His name was Wind Mucky. He was a high schooler who dreamed of becoming an information broker. Ah, he wants to be a florist. He wasn't part of our team, but he really wanted to be pals with us. That one style. Okay. In his words, he wanted to be tight with the Nakano crew. He ended up coming over practically every day without an invite. Most of the time he was here, though, he just hung out with VFF girls and never gave us any useful information. Short for Virtual Friends Forever, a navigation system focusing on interactions with voiced and visualized AR characters. Popular among young people, this BMI app displays characters that freely move within the user's vision and communicate with them while navigating in various ways. The speech, quirks, and functions of the characters can be tuned to some extent. In-app purchases allow the users to acquire limited-time characters and skins. Of course they do. Of course they do. Kinda Tama, yeah. Presumably less actually useful than Tama, but not an inaccurate comparison. I seriously respect your passion, but gotta be honest, you have a major weak point. Yeah, your name doxes yourself. A weak point? Yeah. You can't handle girls. What? Yes, I can. No, you can't. You proved that yesterday. That wasn't a girl. I mean, she was to you, and she had you in a state, my man. Not very pro of you, if you ask me. Don't you agree, Yumikawa? Well, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. Oh, Takaoka. Takaoka? At this rate, you'll never feel comfortable in front of a girl. I'd say get a GF for your own good. Buy one in VFF and spend time tuning in VR. The more you talk to her, the more she learns about you. Ah, this is advanced data collection. It's so rad, you can flirt away without a care in the world. Alright, the arm flapping is great, but the tie bouncing is better. Right, Yomi? Even she's like, oh, don't bring me into this. I want nothing. So it does. Ah, yeah, okay. So when you hide the UI, it hides all augmented reality stuff too. So since she's augmented, she gets hidden. Don't say that stuff out loud. The girl appeared out of nowhere. She was Win's VFF. Sorry. It's so cute when you blush. Clearly. You're the worst, you dummy. Ah, he had to have a tsundere girlfriend, of course. Pretty sure that's like the default model. What do you think? Sure are great, huh? I mean, I'm not gonna say he's wrong, but also this is just a virtual app. Quit acting like you're some kind of stud. Yomi's an AI. Short for Artificial Intelligence. AI can refer to anything from control systems with learning abilities to programs with human-like thought routines. The concept has grown beyond the original definition and is still expanding. Man, I cannot see AI in any written format without thinking of, who was it? It was Caboose in Red vs. Blue, where no matter how many times I explain AI to him, it's always like, AI. Every time. I should add that as a sound effect command. While I've definitely lost track of the show in its many seasons, I would argue that the first 2 to 4 seasons of Red vs. Blue are some of the funniest things to ever hit the internet, and I will defend to that statement. What? You still think there's a difference between us and AI? Get with the times, bro. I know, but like, I thought it every time. I can always just hear Caboose go, AI. Real people and AI are pretty much the same thing now. You can touch them, you can chat with them, some places even let you marry them. Okay. Oh, but you can't have actual children with them. It's a real shame, but that's going to be possible eventually, so we just gotta be patient. I couldn't keep up with him. This guy was living centuries ahead of us. Anyway, they might as well be real. You can see them anytime too, and most importantly, they're cute! Come on, come on. Don't wanna. Married Hatsune Miku? Ooh. It's slightly future tech in that it is an actual brain implant, so that there can be tactile feedback. Let's say she gets fed up and actually slaps him across the face. His face might not actually redden, but he will feel that slap. So it is slightly more advanced. Still don't get it. You'll never be cool if you can't talk to girls. Because, like, again, they straight up have, like, brain implants now. It's not like it's, like, Google Glass or something projecting an image. Everyone here can see that because they are projected into the real world in their brains. If somebody, like, actually bumped into her and they, as long as they were one of the people who has that brain chip, they said 90% of people under 30 have it, but only like 50% of people over 60, so it's not universal, would actually like feel that bump. Never be cool if you can't talk to girls. Do you really think you can be a hero if you're not cool? Ah, I see. The best reason you could possibly get to download a virtual girlfriend is so you could be a hero. By the property that if you can't talk to girls, you can't be cool, and if you can't be cool, you can't be a hero. So, you know. Nope. Never ever. If you're gonna back up all that big talk, you gotta be a regular Romeo who can make any girl fall for him. Okay. Also, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. You've downloaded a program. Just because the program that was designed to be attracted to the user is attracted to the user doesn't mean you would know how to interact with a real woman at all. So they're a real person and not an AI program. There's a slight difference between the two. You're not a real hero till you can do that. Right now, you're all talk and no action, and you gotta work on that. This was big talk from someone whose girlfriend was an AI. Hey, don't you talk shit to me just because we're friends? What makes you think I struggle with girls, huh? I can talk to anyone just fine. Really? Really? I know a girl who's basically my GF. Damn, I let my mouth write a check my love life couldn't catch. What? For real? For real? And he bought it. Come on, why didn't you say so? Yeah, I like the I know a girl. I've met a girl before in my life. You're the man, Takaoka. I never should have doubted you. That's sick. Congrats. Wind grabbed my hand tight and shook it up and down. With someone so breezy, he sure was trusting. Cross was smirking. He could tell I was bullshitting. Damn it. Anyway, go on. Tell us what she's like. We want to hear all about her. Right, Yomi? Down. Calm down, Windy. I can't. This is the first time he's ever talked about this stuff. So, is she younger than you? Or older? About my age, I guess? What's her name? I was in too deep. I had no choice but to make something up. Entertainment? News? No. For this? New. Mom O Lakes. Peaches are back in season. Aichi Prefecture. Downpour damage extent unknown. Miho Zaki Sakimoto on her cinematic debut. was just gonna have to say whatever caught my eye. It's her name is Momo. Momo? It's her birth name? What's her full name then? Momo Aizaki, I think. Didn't it squeeze out the name of a girl that didn't even exist? Momo Aizaki. Sounds like an idol. I can tell she's cute just from her name. That's how names work, by the way. You can tell exactly how, like, physically attractive somebody is by their name. Well known. In 1937, idols is used to refer to many kinds of performers, including real-life men and women, people who assume different gender presentations or altered appearances using AR, AR-based AI characters, and virtual idols who only exist in VR. The difference between the real and virtual world is growing thinner by the day. Bring her over for a welcome party. I can't unsee him flapping like a penguin now. The word for peaches? Oh, of course it is. I can't. Why not? For reasons. Thanks, Pollen. So good. Oh, reasons? Yeah, she has reasons. Like? She... Like... Freaking granddaughter of Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries. Oh, you have my attention. Brought home 13 days after eloping. Oh. See, which just proves, no matter what this guy says, the most attractive thing possible out there is fishing. She and I, we're eloping. Oh. That lousy news ticker appeared at the worst possible time. I just said the first words I saw. What did you say? Eloping? I mean, I messed up real bad. This is the worst thing I could have said. Really? He's not flapping here? I feel like that's the most... What? Eloping? But it was too late to take it back. Oh, they're clearly going for like a comic book style, and like they had a bit during the intro where they actually do like comic panels. So like I guess for like action or bigger sequences, they do that. They did it once. I don't know if they'll do it again, but you know. If I could go back in time and slap myself in the face, I would. I was standing in the middle of Sun Plaza. Why? Well, to meet up with my GF and elope, of course. You can tell it's Sun Plaza because it says Suns and it says Plaza. Yep. I spun myself into a web of lies and now he's here. Righto, let us proceed. Hello? I raised my brow in confusion as something suddenly appeared. It was a VFF. I downloaded the app ages ago, but never really used it. What made it pop up now all of a sudden? Then everything clicked. I'd set his name as my groan must have summoned him. He literally... Well, you better get me a time machine. A fictional device that enables travel backwards or forwards in time, a staple in science fiction, first popularized by H.G. Wells' novella The Time Machine. Huh. Considering where he is in time right now, I feel like the Time Machine is done soon, right? Like, actually, real talk, Time Machine soon, just, you know, not for you. Would that be the 1959 edition or the 2002 edition? Not talking about the movie. There are countless works involving time machines. Could you offer further clarification as to which you are looking for? This wasn't even a conversation, it was a reminder of why I never use VFF. I do like that it's interacting with the subtitle bar. Excuse me. Text bar? So, does that mean he can see the text bar? Because he can see the thing that's interacting with the text bar. And when we hide the UI, which is the text bar as well, it also hides all AR things. implying that he can see that. It was a navigation app designed for chatting, but without any tuning, the stuff its character said was just plain stupid. Man, how the hell did it come to this? You did this! If you're so filled with regret over your actions, what possessed you to lie in the first place? Ooh. I hadn't been using the app, but it knew what had happened. Had it been running in the background or something? It's the future. All of your data is being collected at all of the times. I have my pride. I don't want anyone to look down on me. I don't care who it is. Being an AI, I have never lied before. That was a lie. Even an AI is capable of lying, should the situation call for it. Always honest with you, however. With that in mind, allow me to ask once more. Why did you lie? No, I know. Just reaping what I've sown. Yeah. I looked at the terrace in front of Nakano Station. Wind was right over there, secretly watching from a distance, waiting to get a look at my GM. He was with Dove and Undo, two guys who worked at a local tuning place. They were the ones who did maintenance on my grabber. Wind told them about the elopement, and apparently they wanted to get a glimpse of my GF for themselves. That's how I found myself standing for almost a whole hour, pretending to wait for her. Ah, group chat. Where is she? I'm tired of waiting. It's supposed to meet at 4, right? Now it's 4:30. She's pretty late. Hey, Pollen, what's going on here? Did you get cold feet? Or perhaps Pollen got dumped by her. Maybe they weren't going as steady as he thought. Talking shit like I wasn't even listening. Didn't they have anything better to do? No! Because you brought them all out here with your lies. They don't have anything better to do. Don't lose hope. I'm rooting for you. Things would be a whole lot more hopeful if you just left. Your elopement plan has a fatal flaw. You don't say. The odds of both nobody coming and impending upset are 100%. That's number 42 from a Carnegie quote compilation. Actually, that was a lie. Hold on, I missed the news. Hold on. I think I can... Legendary Idols, Bad the End. Released a limited edition album, including a previously unreleased song. All caps, Bad the End. A great idol group name. By the way, research shows that most minors who elope come back within 48 hours. I really didn't need to know that. This thing was completely useless, so I just turned it off. BFF shutting down. I know no one's coming. That's why I came up with a plan to get me through this. No turning back. All I had to do was find a girl who would walk around town with me for like 5 minutes. Ah. And to do that, I've downloaded the matchmaking app everyone is using. Date. Why go and... Well, to be fair, I guess it would be weird to just run up to somebody. Hey, can you walk around town with me for 5 minutes? I really need to prove to people that I'm eloping with somebody, and I just lied. And a BMI-based dating app popular among people in their teens and 20s for its supposedly miraculous matchmaking rate. The red thread of fate will guide you to your partner. The Yakuza side quest. Yeah, no. That'll do the trick. It's not rent a GF. It's just, you know, it's Tinder that claims that it has a better algorithm. Or like insert any dating app, but it claims to actually have a better algorithm. It needs to find Kiryu. I mean, obviously. Try using it normally first. No fates nearby. No matches, huh? Oh, that figures. I would give almost anything to see the super tuny profile that they clearly have for his search results, like his search parameters. Fate Date had a very low Fate Date had a fairly low matchmaking rates, only about 1 in 4,000. It was way too high risk to rely on. I knew that from the start. That's why I was going to pull a little trick. Gonna mess with the app and force a match. Just this one. The other side of the planet yet? No, not yet. He's only like about a kilometer down. He can dig himself way deeper than this. But also, hey Rose, how's it going? Welcome to Viper Land in the chat. And a space to cover an eye. Yeah. It's just I'll take off whichever girl shows up. All's right with the world. You said the future can't be changed. This plan's perfect. Are you cracking it? Huh? Inspiring hero cracks an app just to protect his ego. The same person who always denies being a hacker. I had no comeback. Yeah, what I was about to do was against every moral fiber in my body. The antithesis to every one of my ideals. Hearing Cross call me out like that, I felt ashamed that I'd even come up with the idea. I won't crack it. Good call. I'd already fessed up to Cross. The whole elopement thing was just a big lie. I think he knew already. 100% he knew already. He knew no one was coming. Nothing good can come from this, you know. If you want to confess and apologize to Wind, I'll go with you. My mess. I'll clean it up myself. Really? Really? Good luck. Good luck then. Bye. I was cornered. There's no way out. Wind wasn't a bad guy. If I just came clean, he'd probably make light of it all. Then someday we'd look back on the whole thing and laugh. The only thing I had to lose was my worthless pride. Damn it. Yeah, apologizing was the best thing for it. And when that was done, we could get out of here. Wind, there's something I had to tell you. Hmm? What is it? Well, you see, this whole elopement thing's... I'm here. I heard a voice. It was a girl's voice, and one I'd never heard before. It was real close. Who turned around. Well, it's the cat girl. Alright. Costumed girl. Sorry I'm late. Huh? What is going on? Even Cross is like, no, this isn't how this goes. She's a real person, though she does have an augmented mark on her face. I heard Wind and the others going wild! I couldn't make out anything they were saying, though. The strangely dressed girl in front of me had blown my mind. Who? Literally who? Are you... Momo? No. No way. Momo Aizaki was a name I'd made up. She wasn't a real person. From the way she was painting, she must have run here. Ooh. And once she caught her breath... Let's go then. It's like she knew me. That's where you're going to point the camera, I suppose. Like I was someone she was going to elope with. She grabbed my hand and started walking. Hand holding already? Let's go. Only described, not shown. This is Rhino Leader. Just passed through Mijiro. Also, one second. That was just being stupid tonight. We have any new info? No. 72 minutes ago, Charlie 2 spotted the target in front of Kanada Station. Or Kanda Station. The target escaped before they could get her attention, though. There has been no contact with her since. How did a non-combatant slip through? I knew we didn't want this mission, but we still gotta take it seriously. Apologies, it turns out that the target has better intuition than we'd bargained for. Where do our tracks lead? We confirmed that the target took a self-driving taxi near Jinbochi. According to the taxi's logs, she was dropped off near Tetsugakudo Park in Nakano. Then 14 minutes ago, she walked by a convenience store near Numabukuro Station. We used AI prediction to narrow down the routes she could have taken from there. Now we're having data satellites track those routes. 80 seconds until preparations are complete. Where's she headed? Back to the Japanese names. Oh yeah, I definitely never get those wrong, ever. Not once. Why would I? Calling all units. Bravo, split into 3 groups and wait for the target ahead. Charlie, search north of Numabukuro Station, just in case. Alpha and I follow the predicted routes to the south. Narashino, keep up the search. Rhino leader out. Hey, autosave, always good. Been walking for like 5 minutes, holding hands. 5 minutes worth of hand holding? She was pretty friendly when she called out to me at the Sun Plaza, but she hadn't said a word since. Honestly, this was freaky as hell. I had no idea what she was thinking. Sure as hell didn't know any girls with a fit as weird as hers or with AR tattoos on their cheeks. I thought maybe she was changing her appearance like those guys at the AR cafe, but when I turned off my BMI, she looked exactly the same. Couldn't see her profile either. It wasn't that she set it to private, it didn't even exist. Somebody without a social media profile in the future? Yeah. Short pause and wear outfits like that. Of course you do.
It's magic.
Mm-hmm. You wanted to run anything in the city. You wanted to run anything in this day and age, even if it wasn't BMI based. You had to register a profile with at least a little info. That she didn't even have one could only mean 2 things. Either she had no devices at all, or she deleted her profile with a hack. The midsummer sun smiles and beams at the cheer invited by the southern wind. A wondrous magic will soon show its gleams. The omen of tears and joy undimmed. The omen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shoulder pads are so far out of fashion. Shoulder paws. It's like you're always getting a massage. You're getting a shoulder rub all day. It was the first thing she said in minutes, and she was talking to herself? Or was it a poem or something? Whatever it was, I didn't know how to react. Sure didn't feel like my cue to start a conversation. I really had no idea how to handle girls. Was I supposed to shake her hand off mine, or just wait until she said something else? She suddenly stopped to look around. This way. Still holding my hand, she took us into a small park nearby. It was evening, but there wasn't anyone around. What was she planning to do here? Was this a trick? If it was, the ideal outcome would be that this whole thing was a prank by Wind, and they were about to pop out like, "Gotcha, Lamau." The bad, but not quite worse scenario would be that she was a signal for a bunch of huge guys to come give me the shakedown of my life. But then the worst case scenario would be that Kido and his goons found out what I did, and they were using this girl as bait to get to me. I'm sorry. Huh? I had to blend in with the crowd. Easier when you pretend to be a couple. It's also easier when you are not dressed like that, by the way. Just tips for the future. That's how. She used me, huh? That sure was some shit. Girl finally let go of my hand. Did it hurt? What, to hold hands? No. It's like you playing Hitman Viper, she's perfect. Oh man. No, I'm fine. Wait, I wasn't about to let her control the conversation. I had to take the initiative. Better explain yourself. Your situation? Let's start with your name. Momo. Seriously? You can call me Momo. Whoa, this is crazy. What's crazy is you can't pick up on the fact that she's clearly like, I don't want to tell you my real name, but you called me Momo, so that's fine. As if stuff like this actually happens. That's the same name. I was waiting for a girl with that name. I really don't think we should write this off as a coincidence. No. Oh. Sorry. I meant it as an alias. Huh? It's just what I want you to call me for now. If it doesn't offend the Momo you know, that is, the Momo I don't actually know, yeah. Sorry. Oh yeah, I called her Momo without really thinking. And now, since she didn't want to give me her real name, she just used the name she got from me. And felt stupid for getting so excited. Is Momo your friend? No. Oh, is she your girlfriend then? No, damn it. Hmm? It doesn't matter. Don't ask. Oh, okay. That staring was too much. Momo Aizaki is just a name I made up. Why'd you make me admit it? She hadn't even given me her real name, but off she went sticking her nose into my personal life. What a pain. Made up. I see. Then, might I use that name? Please? Feel free to call me Momo. Is she serious? What about you? My name's on my profile. Hmm? She seriously had no devices at all? But then, why do you have an AR tattoo? She has short sleeves and giant cat paw clothes. 50-50? Use me? AR? Tattoo? One in your cheek. My cheek? She didn't even know it was there. Had someone put it there without telling her? They'll have to pan it down, but I think those are extra big cat sleeves. I think those are big cat sleeves. But I'd have to, because they showed her hands before, right? When they panned down, they showed her hands sticking out of those. So it's gotta be just disjointed sleeves. We'll see, though. My name's Pollen Takaoka. Pollen. Or is that too familiar? We spent 5 minutes holding hands. You can call me whatever you want. We spent 5 minutes holding hands, and then sensing it was my first time, you asked, did it hurt? Clearly you can call me by my first name. Don't ask me, call me whatever. Anyway, tell me what's up with you. Oh, yes, I suppose I should. Well, I'm looking for someone. Don't have any leads. I'm also by myself, so I'm kind of at a loss. Thank you, Seven. That didn't explain anything. And if she was looking for someone, why did she have to pretend to be my GF to blend in with the crowd? Why did you call out to me? I'm not sure myself. But I do remember having an image. Someone's face flashed into my mind shortly before I met you. Looking back, that face might have been yours. Perhaps that was why I called out to you. Yeah, there. I did it without even thinking. What? Where did that come from? I need to stay in control of the situation. Calm down, Pollen. That's barely an answer. That's not my point, either. For a person who's looking for someone, you seem awfully concerned about getting spotted. What are you hiding? Used me, yeah? Got the right to know then, don't you think? Sorry. Shit, was I being too harsh? No way. Pretty sure I was on the right. I tell from her face that she was pretty tired. Jeez. Hey! 66-month streak. Hot damn. The best matchup. Just the best.
66-month streak. streaking for my streamer. I hope you have a
Oh
fabulous
my.
evening, Hyper Viper Man.
I appreciate a lot the tier 3 subs, but it's raining out, it's nasty. You don't gotta worry about actually streaking. It's fine. It's all good. But thank you so much for 66 months tier 3, Birdie. How you doing? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Hope you're having a good weekend. Hope it's cooling off where you are. It's very slowly cooling where I am. It is cooling, not quickly. It's mostly being replaced with humidity as of now, but by like midweek it should be, yeah. It's like twice as thick as her arm. Gotta be heavy. Yeah, it's an outfit, don't worry. I put her chat on hold so we could go to a nearby vending machine. I got 2 bottles of milk tea, then handed one to her. Here. This is for me? Yeah. This is, my thanks to you, kinda. Yeah, thanks? Thanks to Momo that I gotten away with that elopement story, so things weren't all bad. Just take it. It really sucks right here? Okay, yep. Also waiting on the cooldown, but it's in progress where I am at least. Slowly, but it's in progress. I held out the bottle towards her, kind of forcefully. Thank you. She accepted it politely, then took a hesitant sip. Yeah, the tail is pretty thick. Don't worry about it. It's magic. It's fine. It's not VR because you can see it, but it's magic. It's warm. Suddenly, a single tear rolled down her cheek. Huh? Must be some damn good milk tea. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. The power of milk tea is strong. She wiped away her tears with the back of her hand, like a child. Oh, also, you can clearly see her hands come out of the fuzzy sleeves, so yeah. I had no idea what to say, so I simply stood and watched. She stopped crying after a little while, then looked up at me with bashful eyes. Treasure this. Hey, just drink it. It'll get cold. You're right. I had no idea she'd be this grateful. Oh, yeah, no. There's no reason those should stay on. At all. Same thing with the tail staying up. Don't worry about it. KFC dating sim? It's not. It's the newest game in the SCIADV series, which is like Steins Gate, Cast Head, Cast Child, Robotics Notes. The newest game in that series. But, you know, the KFC dating sim does exist, and it is a powerful... No, Ramen. No. No. Seemed like this girl had been walking around for way too long. She looked like she was mentally exhausted. Still, she showed no sign of telling me what was up. Maybe she had some serious problems. Hell, she couldn't even tell me her real name. Clothing sure as hell wasn't street-worthy. There was that weird AR tattoo on her face, too. She didn't use BMI and had no other devices. The more I talked to her, the more perplexed I got, but didn't feel like she was up to anything sketchy. And as long as someone was in need, then I had to do what I had to do. Good thing you called out to me, though. You're in luck. Huh? Oh, I run a team called Nakano Symphonies. I mean, it's just me and this other guy. But anyways, remember the name. I see? I'll tell you what Nakano Symphonies is all about. We're a team of Anons with bright futures who can't sit idly by when someone's in need. Looks like fate brought us together. So I'm gonna help you. But come on, lay it on me. It's all good. Better to share your troubles than hold them in so much that you cry, right? Whatever it is, I'll take care of it. Leave it to me. Now that I made my cool speech, there's no way she wouldn't open up. No. No. I'm sorry. Thank you for the offer. Huh? What was that? Yes, it's true. She does have neck paws. The paws are giving her constant shoulder massages. No. I'm sorry? No! I just told her I wasn't going to take no for an answer. Looked like Momo had no intention of opening up, and I had absolutely no idea how to continue the conversation. Women and their enigmatic minds. The best hacker in the world couldn't crack their brains. Yeah, tell yourself that. Sure. Ah, yes. A glowy Rubik's Cube. Of course. The chopper will be ready in 2 minutes. Where the hell do I have to go? Just to leave it to the army. The government's orders were for you. You should comply, even if it's just for show. They're virtually our sponsors, after all. Who are you to boss me around, you lanky nerd? I should tell the government where to stick it, too. They must think I'm their dog or something. Those bastards. I have no idea what's so special about that woman. She can't be more important than my Gaia. Okay. Sure. The sun had set and it was getting cold. The milk tea I brought was already lukewarm. Wind just sent me something. Probably nothing worthwhile. I had bigger fish to fry anyway. Hope this helps. Wishing you the best. First place, everyone's go-to choice. Secluded hot springs have the perfect mood for lovers' suicide. What? Dude, you were supposed to be trying to help. Okay, I can't do anything with those. Yeah. Are you upset? Oh. Really? I'm not upset. I'm craving donuts. That response she gave earlier was still getting to me. She took advantage of me, but when I actually offered a helping hand, she refused it. What's up with that? I thought it was being cool, but suddenly felt lame as hell. Yeah, that's what living the Chuny life is like, when somebody doesn't play along with it. It wasn't like I was expecting a reward for my help, but I still had trouble accepting the situation. All I could do now was make sure she got home safe. Not like I knew where she lived, though. I can call my grabber, at least. He could self-drive all the way here. The midsummer sun smiles and beams at the cheer invited by the southern wind. Huh? Wondrous magic will soon show its gleams. The omen of the tears and joy undimmed. Wasn't the first time she said that. Was this like her favorite poem or something? Where does it go after that? Huh? Her question was so abrupt it actually threw me off. I went ahead and ran a quick search for it. 0 exact matches. Well, but I didn't get any hits. Never heard it before. Oh, I see. Is it from a book or something? Not sure. Well, tilted her head. She didn't even know herself. VR confinement incidents on the rise. Government proposes fact-finding investigation. Thanks, news. Still can't do anything. Okay. I'll look it up for you if you'd like. I'm a pro at this kind of thing. I can post about it on 4chan. So glad that 4chan is still hasn't died in the future, apparently. Someone there should know it. Faith in the internet's collective knowledge. Oh, so you're quite popular. Oh. Okay. Bad times. I appreciate that it still hides it. What's wrong? It's that damned echo. It's Heidelin again. Momo put her hands to her forehead as if shocked by something. Her eyes were twitching. She was looking right at me, but it was like she was seeing through me, seeing something far away. You okay? Clearly no! Momo? What is this? What am I? No, this isn't good. Hey. She suddenly grabbed hold of my arm. Need to run. If we stay here any longer. Ah. Before we could even process what was happening, we were surrounded by a bunch of tough-looking guys. Some of them even had guns. And they're real guns, not AR guns. What? Cosplayers, no. They can't be. Coming with us, little lady. The guy I guessed was their leader, the muscular foreigner, reached out to grab Momo. Jumped between them. His eyes fixed on me. His glare was so intense that it made me shudder. I checked his profile. Major Graham Kingley. Japan, United States Defense Force. Age 42. An actual soldier. You know them? No. So what was this all about? Everyone never died. What could have gotten a goddamn army involved? Whatever. There's only one thing I could do. Hold my ground and refuse to let them intimidate me. Guys, what are y'all doing? Crowding around a girl like this. Kinda lame, no? Let's settle down and talk this out like gentlemen. Yep. The most gentlemanly sucker punch to the stomach. Felt a sudden intense blow to my body. The wind rushed out of my chest as I crumpled into a heap. Didn't even warn me, bastard. Didn't even warn me. Yeah, no, most people don't. Come with us. Cooperate, and we won't hurt you. No, let me go, please. Let me go. Someone, help me. Oh, jeez. The tatted baldy builder grabbed Momo by the throat and raised her up just like that. She struggled desperately to escape as her legs flailed above the ground. This wasn't right. I had to help her, but my chest hurt like hell. I wheezed as I struggled to catch my breath. Still, I did all I could to get a handle on the situation. Did a quick head count. Figured there were 11 people, all of them soldiers. Didn't stand a chance against them in a straight fight. It's pretty damn obvious what I had to do. I slipped my hand into my pocket. Navigating with my fingertips alone, I used the keyboard to activate my hacking tool. Oh yeah, hacking time. I started hijacking the local power company system, as you do. All I had to do was find Nakano's power supply system, introduce a malfunction into the closest switch, and... Hey, don't try anything funny. Hands out of your pockets. How about no? I switched off the surrounding lights. Blackout? No, it's the punk. Switch your BMI to night vision mode. Ah, of course. Restrain the brat. Too late for that. There it was. Perfect timing. I switched my ride from self-driving mode to remote control mode. What? With its headlights burning bright, I had it burst into the park all dramatically. Next, I had to go straight towards that hulking brute. Just before it connected, I turned it sideways, setting up a delicious donut turn. Bastard flinched and let go of Momo. This was my chance. Momo! I grabbed her and jumped onto my ride. You gotta have the Akira bike, it's important. Then I took the keyboard out and set it in the socket on the handle. This is my grabber driving style. I drive with my hacking mini keyboard because I'm cool like that. Wait! Hell no! Yeah, I mean, that is the correct response. My grabber was purring in no time. Hold your fire. Hearing that scared the hell out of me. The soldier guys rushed to surround us, but I broke out, ready to run them over if I had to. Once we got out of the park, I headed for Nakano City. Okay, so the start of the game starts in medias res, basically here to the best of what I can tell. So, the intro bit of the game is like this bit. Sorry, but I've been hiding something from you. No! Shit! We're aware. We don't know what, but like... Yeah. Yeah. Huh? What's that? I'm on the run! You know, we pieced that together too. No shit. Explained why she used me to lose her pursuers. Just who exactly are you? Why is the army hunting you down? For Christ's sake. Didn't expect this to happen on my second day in Japan either. You a VIP from some other country? Please, you're better off not knowing anything more. We're already helping you escape from, like, the army. I don't think we can get much more in too deep than this. So, knew I shouldn't have dragged you into this, but you have. So, like, if we had info, maybe we could work with that? You're still gonna be like that? Oh, okay. We can go friend by friend now, okay. I said you can count on me, remember? Cross, I need some help. Called my ride or die, and he answered right away. Yo, Romeo. Did Juliet dump you already? Now's not the time for that. The army's on our tail. Imagine cold calling somebody. The last they saw of you was, I'm gonna wait in this park for a few hours for a girl who doesn't exist to not show up. Stop making fun of me. The army's on our tail. Is her father an officer in the armed forces? Hadn't even considered that possibility. Is she the daughter of some high-ranking army person? A military brat on the loose? The situation seemed way more serious than that, but I figured I'd check just in case. You got any military people in your family? No. Yeah, I figured. I noticed that the road leading to Nakano Station was real congested. It wasn't even rush hour yet, so it was weird for there to be so much traffic already. Cross, we're being chased by actual soldiers. I'm getting away on my grabber, so send me Nakano's traffic data. Better give me the details when you get back. We don't know the details. My partner was always the type to help first and ask questions later. I always appreciated that about him. I turned to look behind me. No sign of the soldiers, but... Shit! Drones! Oh, so I think this bit we were seeing from that government room point of view when we started, and now we're seeing probably the same events but from his point of view on the ground. A general term for things in the vein of multicopters and quadcopters, small unmanned helicopters that use 3 or more propellers for movement. Cheap and accessible drones were developed in the 2010s and became a common sight in the same decade. In 2037, there are drones on the market that use propulsion methods besides propellers. Okay. Okay. 2 drones shot out of an alley and flew straight at us. I could tell they were military drones, which meant we were still in their sights. Lose them. Drove into a side alley to dodge the congestion. Something's going on. Major streets have been blockaded. What? In at least 6 locations. There's a rumor that the army set those up without notifying the local officials or the police. If they're so desperate to catch Momo. Getting into Nakano. Show me the blockades on the map. Okay. For the record, it may look exactly like Google, but it's 2 G's. Totally different. Totally different. It's not Google. It's Google. The main routes were closed, huh? Not like that would stop me. I was born and raised in Nakano. It's like my very own backyard. I had every back alley memorized. Getting out while dodging the blockades would be a cinch. Started by going south. But first I had to lose the drones. They were automatic, so they couldn't be all that adaptive. I changed some of the grabber settings using the keyboard on my handle. Now I did prioritize acceleration and maneuverability over speed. Go right through the bar district. Aroma Sushi Pulse, Punk Rock. Lair. Steakhouse. Beer Maze, Beer and Cocktail. Bar. Ask. System. Clubs. That's all I got. Ah, but you can see that the signage is VR. Or AR. You serious? That place must be packed with people. Yeah, but it was also winding and confusing. And my only shot at losing those drones. G Google to make it sound cooler. Ah, you're right, like G rank. Yep. Hold on tight, Momo. She clung to me tightly. Mixed in with the smell of sweat, a pleasant scent tingled my nose. I felt something soft too, but this wasn't the time for that. Yeah, she's wearing an actual cat one piece. It's all soft. It's all soft, except for like this one patch here, and that's it. I'll show you what I got. They messed up by throwing down on my turf. Time to show those chumps what an underground grappa racer could really do. Something soft is 2 inches of cat suit. Yes. Bravo 1, establish contact with the target at Mina Midai intersection in 12 seconds. 88% chance they'll turn right into the road ahead of it. Maybe we're seeing it from here too. Bravo 1, once you confirm the right turn, proceed 60 meters south. Yeah, they're not just being chased by some military men, they got like coordinated efforts against them. This is Bravo 1, copy that. Target is taking the right turn, heading south. Intercept target again in 11 seconds. Bravo 1, stand by. Target has turned right again. They're now passing the residential area and heading towards Loop 7. There's Alpha 2, heading south on Loop 7. They'll pass the central line in about 10 seconds. Get them to the Honan police box. Fast! Bravo 1! Remain on standby. Target will reach Honan intersection in 28 seconds. Probability of them heading straight is at 61%. 24% chance they'll take it. We've read this before. This is Alpha 2. We need 60 seconds. What's the status on the mobile connectors to the grabber? No success yet. Target's changing their address manually every second. Keep trying until you get through. This is Rhino Leader, Alpha 2, fire warning shots. Doesn't matter if you can't see the target. This is a residential area. Are you sure? I am. I'll take responsibility. Roger that. Alpha 2, do as instructed. This is Alpha 2, firing warning shots. The target will reach Honan intersection in 6, 3, 2, 1, left turn. They're heading south down Loop 7. That's checkmate. I heard a sound loud enough to pierce through the roar of my grapper motor. Acting on instinct, I swerved away from it and headed south on Loop 7. Seriously? That was a goddamn gunshot! Damn it, I feel like they're leading us right where they want us to be. They are. Unauthorized remote access detected. UXO reportedly found in Nakano Ward. Major traffic restrictions in the area. Public transportation or public transport still operational. I lost the drones, but I was still running into armored cars as I raced along the residential area's winding paths. And now it's getting pushed into Loop 7 and full main road. You're dealing with the army. I wouldn't be surprised if they were monitoring you through military sats. Meant I couldn't get away no matter what I did. Constant hacking shit too. God, this is so annoying. Yeah, it feels really bad to be on the receiving end of somebody trying to hack your stuff, doesn't it? Must have been the army too. They were doing everything in their power to hijack my grapper's systems. It was forcing me to change my ride's address manually every second or so. Sure, I'd seen stuff like this in the amateur grapper races and been forced to do high-speed setting management, but there was a world of difference between a casual race and a goddamn army chase. This was way too tense. I couldn't relax for a second, and there was no telling how long these attacks would last, or how long I'd be able to keep focus. I felt Momo's warmth on my back. We were going so fast that she was desperately clinging to me for dear life. This strange girl in weird clothing I'd met barely 2 hours ago. It's the reason I was being chased by the goddamn army of all things. I had no reason to go through all this for her. But there's no way I was just going to leave her behind, be against my creed, against my convictions. That wasn't how I rolled. I feel like this is definitely the SCIADV game to get started fastest. Just, we like, it started with this chase scene, and then kind of cut back to dating stuff for like a half hour, and it's like back to chase. But I also had no idea where to go at this point. All you do is dodge the hacks and keep the chase going. You're past the Koenji blockade. Let's hope they didn't account for the roads to the south of it. Yeah, roger that. If they were watching me from space anyway, then taking the fast route on Loop 7 made more sense than winding through the residential streets. It's probably down to the blockades, but thankfully the roads were empty. The straight 2-lane road was well lit, so I could see pretty far into the distance. Now we're talking. Koshu Kaido route closed between Kamikitazawa and Nishisando. It sure made driving easier. The attacks of the Grapper's systems continued, but I managed to fend them off. We can actually get out of this. I went full speed ahead. Let's go! Right then, though they blended in with the scenery speeding by, a set of red letters caught my eye. How is it going to end? Huh. The streetlights lit them right up. Why some weird graffiti on the pedestrian bridge caught my attention like that was beyond even me. It was enough to throw me off for a few seconds. My fingers had stopped typing. Oh no. No! They'd seized their chance. I tried to hit the brakes, but no response. Passed right into the Shinjuku route. The car suddenly locked up. Lost control. Oh, so this is playing out differently than the intro did. Whose eyes to those eyes? I lost control of the grabber instantly. I was driving way too fast when it happened. Damn it! There's nothing I could do to maintain balance. Oh, well. This is definitely playing out differently than it did in the intro bit. She almost looks unconcerned. She almost looks like, not again. When I went flying. Yeah, I was already saying, Potts, the fact that Akira bikes exist in this universe means we are contractually obligated to have an Akira slide at some point, but clearly this is not it. This is somebody took control of the bike and split it the wrong way. Not cool. Everything was in slow motion. Chopper was flying in the night sky overhead with its searchlight shining down. Multiple armored cars with active camo revealed themselves on the road I thought was empty. Technology that makes an object invisible to the world around it. Though once thought to be exclusive to sci-fi, by 2037 it was replicated using things such as materials with a negative refractive index, or projectors that help things blend into their surroundings by projecting on one of their sides an image captured from its opposite side, commonly used by military forces. I had no idea things would get this wild. I'd never guessed that the center of all this, the person the army was after, was this one girl. It felt way too unreal. Our eyes met as we flew through the air. Okay, she looks a little more concerned there. Just slightly more concerned. Felt like white noise overcame my vision. And the next moment, I crashed into the road. Yeah, that's going to leave some marks. I had as hard as I could to stand up. My body was aching all over. I wouldn't be surprised if bones were broken. My grapper was basically a pile of scrap. No, not the Akira bike. What about Momo? I looked around. She was lying a short distance away, her head was bleeding, and she wasn't conscious. Bad. I tried to crawl over to her. Before I reached her, a load of armored cars pulled up, and we found ourselves surrounded by soldiers. Crap. Finally, with perfect timing, they were joined by the tatted, baldy builder from before. As I laid there in the asphalt, he looked down at me with ice-cold eyes. Got you now. He's got a bit of that vibe, yeah. Should have listened, kid. Yeah, we didn't get a bad end in the In Medias Res opening, but apparently we get a bad end this time. Tried to say something back, but the pain was so bad I couldn't talk. Suddenly a strong wind racked my body. Looking up, I saw a bright light. Both of those things were from the chopper, now landing while making ear-tearing sounds. Once it landed, 2 people climbed out. Ah, why hello. One was a mean-looking boy with a bow tie. He couldn't have been older than a middle schooler. The other was a long-haired man with a pale complexion. That was when the Baldy's old-fashioned transceiver rang out. What is it? Captain, we were ordered to retreat. Retreat? That's absurd. What is the government thinking? The boy who was listening to the exchange shrugged his shoulders. The boy with bow tie. Politicians are such cowards. Suppose this was too much of a spectacle. No matter. We secured the woman. He spoke in an apathetic tone, then issued an order to the surrounding soldiers. Hey, get her on the chopper! They took Momo's unconscious body and ran her over to the chopper. They were followed by the bow-tie kid and the long-haired man. Wait, damn it. Tried to raise my voice, but the pain silenced me. Let her go. Fighting the pain, I tried to reach out, but my hand was nowhere near close enough. Chopper took off. It all happened so fast. I wanted to cry out in frustration, but my body couldn't even manage to yell. The only ones left were me, still crawling around on the ground, and the soldiers with that tatted bodybuilder among them. Police are coming. We should withdraw. Get everything you saw today, kid. Or else you'll be locked up for life. Get my ass. Gonna spread this all over the net. The whole world's gonna know about you fuckers. So the smart thing to do would be like, yeah, I won't say anything, and then spread it later. Like, I know, Potts, I can't change it. And if I force it forward, it cuts the voice acting. So, unless there's an option I missed. For what it's worth, it's always possible I missed. But I didn't want to change auto mode speed, so I'm not using auto mode. We're not using skip. Oh, unsynced. I'm just blind. I'm just blind. What else is new? What else is new here? Just the blindness of Viper. Always. Always. Cool. Pro gamer Viper. At least we weren't like 9 streams in before I found it, right? Yeah. Wish I could say any of you were wrong right about now, but I can't. He suddenly grabbed me by the chest. He was strong. Scary strong. I couldn't escape his grip. No, this isn't even the first visual novel where this has happened, is it? Where I've missed that setting and like halfway through the first stream been like, oh, hey, look, I missed the setting. Whoops. I am nothing if not consistent, okay? Also, hey, Wavers, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing this weekend? And yeah, that's like a 6 or 7 head. That's just, for all we know in this scene right now, that could continue on. He was about to kick my ass, wasn't he? Felt like if I experienced any more pain, I'd end up paralyzed. I clenched my teeth as hard as I could. The agony wasn't going away. I only had one chance. I spat the blood in my mouth straight at his face to taunt him. I don't know if I've met somebody who wanted to die this badly, this early in the game. Go ahead. Another one in the stomach. And he went for my face instead. He sent me flying, and I found myself rolling along the road. That was exactly what I've been waiting for. Ignoring the pain, I used the momentum from the fall to twist my body and set off running in the opposite direction. Yeah, okay. I've never watched Code Lyoko, but I've seen screenshots, and I agree. Code Lyoko is to foreheads what Clannad is to eyes. He absolutely pulled it to you. Looking around, barely able to keep myself from collapsing. The Shinjuku route was above me, and the Koshu Kaido underpass below. I don't have time to think. I didn't have time to think, so I just dropped down. Huh, so I guess it doesn't end. It ends differently, but I still get away. And we get the comic bits. I like these. Can't escape. God damn it. Scatter! Huh? Get in! Looked around quickly. The soldiers had distanced themselves from the car to avoid getting hit, but they were readying their guns. Seeing that erased any hesitation I might have had. Jumped into the passenger seat. Hold on tight. The tatted bodybuilder was standing right in front of the car, but that didn't stop the driver from flooring it. The bald head drove sideways right before impact, leaving the road clear for us. Once we were out of the underpass, we took the road leading to Shinjuku. Armored car, behind us! Yeah. Sitting in the cramped rear seat was a girl who must have been in elementary school. Though I understood the words she was saying, I couldn't make sense of her appearance. She looked just like the porcelain doll. The girl was pointing at something beyond the rear glass, an armored car coming after us! This isn't even fair. We can't lose him in this hunk of garbage. Yeah, she does. And he did. Hey, Oz, can I take care of them? Can I? Nono's real good at this. Don't overdo it. Overdo what? The girl calling herself Nono went down to the rear seat foot area and definitely has someone who's probably 100%. She spoke in a cutesy voice as she held up a 60-centimeter long cylinder. Looked a lot like a rocket launcher. She saw that I was looking at it and smiled. This is my berry area. I made it myself. Go ahead, tell me how awesome I am. No, that looks like a rocket launcher. Oh, it does sound vaguely familiar to me. So, what's she from? Another Vienna bird. Okay. Like any visual novel I play, I ain't looking up nothing until I'm done with the game. But she sounds a little familiar. And honestly, so does Protag. He sounds a bit familiar too. Nobody else has jumped out at me, but I wouldn't be surprised to find out there was somebody I've heard before. She stuck her torso out of the sunroof, ready to her rocket launcher, and targeted the armored car. All normal things that happen. Are you for real? For real, that's the deal. I was about to watch a child take on the army solo. When did Japan become such a lawless wasteland? Yeah, I've definitely made the mistake in games of looking something up early and be like, God damn it! Like, especially when I tell myself I'm not going to and I spoil myself and it's like, I can't blame anyone but me. To the point where I just stopped. Like, just hard stop. If I'm playing any game that I know is going to be like a story game for any length of time, nah, not even chancing it. Fire! Well, the rocket shot through the air, a trail of white smoke sneaking behind it. It hit the armored car, at least I thought it had. But it actually exploded right in front of it. What did you do? Huh? You can't tell by looking. They're fireworks! Loads of them! Shoo! Boom! Blast the powder kegs! We already have best character, right? Anybody who just takes a rocket launcher and fills it with fireworks and fires it at the army in the first 2 hours of a game is just the best. Surprised you know what powder kegs are. I don't know what they are. So it's just a bluff. Looked like it was enough though. And she's apparently real. She's not hidden with the overlay. Maybe? Did she? Hold on. I can't go back right now, hold on. Armored's car driver must have panicked because the thing smashed into a guardrail, lost balance, and stopped in his tracks. We're putting some distance between us and them. Soon enough, I couldn't make out any of the soldiers inside. Yeah, I can't look back right now, so maybe. We get away. The last 2 hours have been insane! Also, it was hard to believe how little time had passed since Momo called me at Sun Plaza. You okay? You sure don't look it. Yeah, there is a log, but apparently, like, I gotta wait for a different scene. He's like a crumply wet rag. Thanks, I owe you. My name's Oz. I'm one of Nanako's, well, how should I put it? Kind of a detective? Or Nakano's, sorry. The lady behind us. The lady behind you is Nono. I'm a virtuoso. She didn't say anything else, so I had no idea what kind of virtuoso she was. So what happened to the little lady you were running away with? Right, they took Momo away. I gotta go save her. Took her away. The chopper, huh? No. Do you know where it went? From the direction, it looked like it went to Haneda Airport, and lots of people online are saying they saw it. Yeah, chopper landed in a residential area. There's no way that wouldn't get attention online. Take me to Haneda, please! What exactly is going on between those army folks and you two? No clue, man. I really don't know. But she didn't seem to want to hurt anybody, which makes you think if somebody's putting this much effort into detaining her, that they're the evil ones, because if she was evil, she probably would have shot me at some point or something. Bad juju, let's go! By the time we snuck past all our pursuers and arrived at the Haneda airport, an hour had passed since Momo was taken away. The chopper with Momo on board had landed on the tarmac for private jets, slightly outside of the actual airport. Staying hidden, we strained to see what was going on inside, and caught a glimpse of Momo being handed over to some mysterious foreigners. Yep. What the hell? That's the Vatican! What? Wait. What? The Vatican? Seriously, who is that little lady?
What the fuck?
Sounds like the government was ordering the army. Did the Vatican pressure the government into mobilizing the army? Then why is that brat involved in this? Damn, can't tell who's got authority over what. I didn't care if it was the government or the Vatican. Momo was about to be taken outside Japan. There's no way I could help her if that happened. That's a sentence. Gotta go save her. You dumbass, we're at an airport. Security will grab you the moment you walk in. And the army might be hiding somewhere close by. You're not going to be able to do shit on your own. You'll just get yourself killed. So what? So what? Did I have to resign myself to twiddling my thumbs as I watched it happen? Momo. I couldn't protect her. I just met her and I didn't know anything about her. She was basically a stranger to me, but... There's so many people at Sun Plaza, but out of all of them, she called out to me. I told her I'd help. I told her she could count on me. Yet... couldn't even protect one girl. Frustration, anger, and shame swirled chaotically inside my head. I felt like tearing out my hair, like screaming until my throat was dry and cursing myself to hell. Damn it. Shit. Oh, I mean, if we can have Turtle Pope, you're right. Catgirl Pope isn't really that much of a stretch. I punched the airport's fence over and over, but the frustration wouldn't go away. Damn it! I was overcome by an explosion of emotion. Oh, hold on. Do you still need me to go back to what she said previously? Because I can. I'm already halfway there. May as well. Nope, not that one. Not that one. That one. There you go. Huh? What the hell? Nothing's moving. Why? Is this VR? When did I dive in, though? Oh. Wait, what's this screen? He's seeing the save screen, so that's something. Also worth noting, for I think like Pots and Ramen weren't here at the very beginning. When you start a new game, you cannot start a new game. You have to load that #1 file that you can't overwrite. You have to load that file to start the game. Those are the words I saw earlier. That was about an hour ago. I didn't have my optic recording on back then. So why? What if I selected this? How's it going to end? He has the power to recognize when the game is being saved. This is potentially OP. He can save scum the world. Okay. Alright. It might be a 7th. Next thing I knew, it was on the 2-lane road heading towards, which is how in the introductory bit he knew the things to say and the cool stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah, now the intro makes sense. In the intro, Ramen, when he stops before the barricade And the muscly guy comes out, he's like, in 51 seconds, you're going to get a call from the military. And then you're going to try to chase after us. And we're going to get away because you're going to have a car hit you. And the guy's like, no! And obviously it happens. But this is how he knows, I guess. Next thing I knew, I was on the 2-lane road heading towards Loop 7. The scenery around me was flying past at incredible speed. There were no other cars on the road. What? Wasn't I at the airport just now? The pain all over my body had vanished. The soft, warm sensation in my back returned. Momo was clinging to me. That was when I realized I was driving my grabber. Huh? What? The shock and confusion were overwhelming. It felt like there was a thin layer of mist clouding my brain. Completely lost, I looked around to get a handle on my situation. Suddenly, I saw a pedestrian bridge ahead. How's it going to end? The streetlights made it easy to read. It was familiar. I'd seen it before. Is that a dream? The feeling some kind of deja vu? The feeling that you've experienced something before despite never having actually done so. The sensation of those non-existent past experiences is so realistic and vivid that the sufferer cannot discredit it as mere delusion, dream, or lapse in memory. But since they obviously cannot remember when and where this past happened, it ultimately creates a strong sense of discomfort. The cause is not yet known. Some propose that it is an extremely rare, brief psychological phenomenon that occurs when the brain fails when synchronizing the functions of memory repair and prior knowledge, while others theorize that it's the result of a short-lived twitch-like spasm in the hippocampus. We Subaru now has save points. Like he did a time... Well... Yes, but like thematically different. I suppose, yeah. Also... Deja vu is annoying, but I feel like in my day-to-day life, presque-vu is by far the thing that impacts me the most. That's tip of the tongue syndrome, where you know the word, you know the name you're thinking of, you know that you know it, and you are sure that you know, but you can't think of it right now. But like 20 minutes later, it'll come to you. I hate it so much, and it's just so prevalent. If memory served, something bad was about to happen. A chill ran down my spine. I rushed to hit the brakes. A moment later, the system was hijacked, just like I remembered. It's the same. The mist around my mind vanished in an instant. I almost lost control, but I just managed to hit the brakes in time. Plague. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Joke time has passed. Yes, yep. I almost lost control, but just managed to hit the brakes in time. It's hard to stay balanced, but I slid sideways and brought us to a... Oh, so he does the Akira stop, of course. You have to. There, we weren't moving anymore. I still say they'll have to show it on camera at some point, but technically they did it. This is the Koshu Kaido intersection. The Shinjuku route was above us, and ahead was Loop 7 completely empty. Sorry, but... My hunch? No. My memory was right. Then there were armored military cars around here, hidden by active camo. Look! And there they were. Noticing that we'd stopped, the armored cars showed themselves. Cars that were trailing us had also caught up, quickly setting up a blockade around the intersection. They got us surrounded. Still, this was better than crashing and sliding across the asphalt. I told Momo to climb off the grapper, then did the same myself. I don't know why this deja vu was all about. I didn't even know if it was deja vu. The memories felt pretty damn real to me. It was more like I was re-experiencing something I'd already been through. Did that weird after this? I couldn't tell. All I could do was act according to my memories. Another armored car appeared before long. While the others were keeping the blockade from a distance, this one stopped right in front of us. That's right. Stand by at the high altitude. Don't come down. We don't know what they're up to. Yes, disregard what Orna says. The tatted baldy builder relayed some orders over a transceiver. I like how we're in the future and he's still using like a brick military giant cell phone. And he looked right at me. Yo! Strained my ears and heard a chopper in the distance. I focused and thought hard about the best way to get out of this. I soon had my answer. You stopped by yourself. Smart move. What I had to do was, don't put up a front. I know you're relieved, am I right? Provoke him and keep the conversation going. Getting your ass handed to you by a little punk like me must have done a number on your pride as a soldier. Sorry, but I'm no script kiddie. Hand her over. She's not your property. I said hand her over. How about you offer something in return? Sweeten the deal and I might say yes. Gunshot. The guy had gone and shot my grapper's rear wheel with his handgun. Shit. There's no way to treat a man's ride. And he got where the superconductor motor was. A crapper wasn't roadworthy without it. Couldn't let him see I was panicking, though. You know, resilient and probably hack-proof. There's got to be a market for older tech in the world where you can seemingly hack anything. Reasonable. Still comical, but reasonable. I went and glared right at him instead. You jackass, the army better pay you enough to cover the repair bill. Don't seem to understand your situation. You have two options. Spend your life in jail or die here. We'll write it off as an accident. Pick one. I don't vibe with either. Your future is in my hands. Really? And those huge transhuman paws you got there? Give me your answer. Don't underestimate me. Listen up. In exactly 51 seconds, that transceiver you got hanging there is going to go off. It's a gamble. If it worked out, I'd be a goddamn prophet. You're going to get an order to retreat, and your captain's authority won't mean shit, because that order's coming straight from the government. While you're all shook up, I'll take Momo and run. You'll come chasing after us, of course. You won't get far, because a passing car is going to knock you flat on the road. That's the future I want. What kind of shit is that? Retreat order in 51 seconds? A car hitting me? You crack me up, I'll give you that, but that's enough. And she went off. I was surprised myself, but I didn't show it. That's 51 seconds. Answer it, army guy. This is Rhino Leader. Captain, we were ordered to retreat. What? The politicians higher up the food chain chickened out. Seems they favor the status quo. The target's right here! You're the ones who turned the chase into a shit show. It's your own fault, losers. Alright then, peace? Okay, so this is the one we saw in the initial opening. Okay. You can't escape. Alright, see, now you got the whole squad, though. In. Everything was just as I remembered. Elite Oz! Oh? The old dude was surprised. I called him by his name, but I ignored him and pushed him over into the rear seat. Get the gas! Oh yeah, big feet paws. I shouted as I slipped into the passenger seat. It actually happened, huh? Went so well, it actually felt kind of good. How'd you know my name, kid? I'd answer that later. No, an armored car is gonna come after us. Blind him with that weird rocket of yours. Huh? Huh? It's right under your feet, yeah. Barry, whatever. The thing that shoots fireworks. What? How'd you know that? Telepathy? Sympathy? Villainy? It's one of those three. Alright, look. I know you're a virtuoso. Yeah, I'm a virtuoso. So I can count on you, right? You really know what a lady likes. You're nothing like Oz. Clearly happy, she quickly took her mini rocket launcher and stuck herself out of the sunroof. Are we really doing this? It's fine, just shoot! Roger Dodger, yes sirree. The rocket flew through the air, leaving a trail of white smoke as it shot straight for the armored car. Clearly the pass. Right before impact, it blew up, triggering an explosion of colorful fireworks. Caught by surprise, the armored car lost balance and stopped. There weren't any other cars chasing us, and I couldn't hear the chopper anymore either. We were probably still under surveillance from a military sat, but they'd been ordered to retreat, so I guess it was safe to assume they'd given up on their pursuit, right? Did it. I looked back at Momo, who seemed like she was in a hell of a daze. She was kind of spacing out, but she was here with me. That felt like a miracle in itself. You! Oz grabbed me by the chest, his other hand still on the steering wheel. Do you know our names? Why are they after you? Who the hell are you? I saved Scum. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Shit, buddy. Sorry, not gonna lie. I don't know what the hell's going on myself. It's not him, it's me. Pollen put himself in danger just to help me. Momo hastily tried to cover for me. Oz seemed to know who was after her. But in any case, one thing was plain as day. Momo hadn't lost them for good. We might have escaped them for now, but I'd be a fool to think this was all over. What can we do to get rid of them once and for all? Is police protection even an option here? Or would we have to leave Tokyo altogether? What's her name? I'm Pollen... How does he say it? Oh, I can't... Takaoka? Takaoka? Ah, in front! A woman with an umbrella was standing right in front of us. Because of course. Because of Oz quickly turned the wheel. Takaoka, okay. It didn't feel like we'd hit anyone. We had no knowing of whether she dodged us either, since the car was throwing us left and right. Oz did what he could to right our balance. Right in front of us was a steel plate wall used in construction sites. Beyond it was the Shinjuku crater, a reconstruction zone, and an off-limits area. Going in! Brace for impact. Beyond the wall were a load of construction vehicles, as well as cars that probably belonged to the people working here. Further ahead was the edge of the crater, one of the scars left on the city after the events of the sad morning. We're gonna need some more info on that, game. What's that woman? Don't stop the car! That's the edge of the crater right there. Suddenly there was a shocking sight-on impact. The parked car had suddenly stirred to life and rammed into us. It's like it was being controlled by something. Was this remote control? It wasn't just one car either. A bunch of others joined in the thrashing. Definitely not important. We didn't even get a tips for it, so, like, it's unimportant. Even though we were moving, they were smashing into us with crazy precision. Oh, one after the other. God damn it. Oz hit the brakes and somehow stopped the car from falling into the crater. Oh, you all okay? Is that the army too? Before I got an answer, one of the unmanned cars suddenly came speeding towards us from behind. Shit, hop out! Oz grabbed Nono and leapt out of the car. Momo! I tried to take her hand and get out, but before I could do that, I felt the shock of an intense impact. The car tilted hard and, well, always be fallen, I guess. Suddenly we were in midair. Momo and I were flung out through the open door. Probably bad. Ah, hello there. That's an outfit. The umbrella-wielding woman looked down with great disinterest, as though whatever had happened below was barely worth her attention. Of course, it's got a big, flaring skirt. She was on the roof of a 52-story building. A 52-story building. Her gaze was, at this moment, fixed upon something far in the distance. It was as if she was staring directly at the edge of the faraway crater, precisely where the car had just crashed. Clearly a vampire, yes. A world-changing encounter. Oh, do we get the OP? Hell yeah! This bit's definitely going to be silenced on the VODs, but I'm watching it anyway. It's definitely going to get silenced on the VODs. 100%. They've all been silenced on the VODs. But I'm letting it play because I want to hear it, so we can watch it live. And it'll get muted later. Yeah, I think I Dito back. She wasn't here for robotics, but she's here for all the others. That was the only thing I knew about the opening before, is that I know that she came back for it. That's all I know. I specifically looked that up when I found out it was coming here. It's like, did she do the OP? Yes. I was like, cool. Not watching it, not listening to it. It also means I hope it's on Spotify, because I'm going to have to add it to my work list now. I don't know. I'm actively not paying a ton of attention to it because OPs be OPs and we know how that works. So I'm actively not like focusing on details. But probably. Hell yeah. The police idol force isn't real and can't hurt us. Not in this timeline. Oh. Rather than a save point at this moment in your life is nothing short of a miracle. It delights me to no end. The countless atoms aimlessly drifting about the universe have, against all odds, come together to give you form. And considering everything that happened between the origin of all things and your birth, this meeting itself is a miracle. That being said, this series of miracles started casting a shadow of doubt on our minds. And at this very moment, it's become a conviction. Step through the stage's curtain, rip off the mask of the wizard who pulls the strings. Close the loop. Into God. I think that's what it says under the... Hold on. If it'll give me a second to where... Even if we do here, the fact that you've arrived here, rather to this save point, at this moment in your life, is nothing short of a miracle. It delights me to no end. Step through the stage's curtain, rip off the mask of the wizard who pulls the strings, close the loop, hack into God. Yeah, that's what it says after the... So every semicolon, every SCIADV game does have something under its title, usually long and rambling like that, but they don't always reference it in the game. Also, yeah, that's also on the back of the box, in big red letters, hack into God! Oh, I'm so ready for, like, this, but like in the back of my mind, it's like, Yakuza 7 at the end of the week, yeah! Yeah, it's the sign that this is going to be a hype week. Also, is that Gon? First ever computer was built during World War II. Predicting ballistic trajectories required myriad calculations, so it was created to process them as quickly and accurately as possible. You might even say that computers started out as devices for simulating events. Smarter or evil are gone. In the early 21st century, Japan created a supercomputer simply named Earth Simulator. Oh, I can't open... Oh, I can. Okay, tips. Supercomputer. Large computers that process vast amounts of data at incredible speeds using technologies such as parallel processing. Although there is no clear definition, they tend to be at least 1,000 times faster than common PCs. A computer's performance is measured by how many basic arithmetic operations it completes per second. The unit for this is floating point operations per second, or flops. 1 flops equals 1 operation per second. The Japanese supercomputer Fugaku exceeds 400 flops, which means that it can do... I don't know how to read that number. Operations every second. This is 40 times more than the older Japanese supercomputer K. I really do like the comic panels a lot. Those are really nice. A supercomputer established in the Japan Agency for Marine Earth Sciences and Technology, or JAMSTEC, facility in Yokohama, first operated in 2002, uses Earth-scale simulations to explain and predict environmental changes. It was subject to many hardware upgrades over the years, and by 2037 it is in its 7th generation. This Earth simulator is unrelated to the Gaia institution's Gaia. The first electronic digital computer was the ABC, built in the US in 1942. However, it was eclipsed in 1946 by the similarly US-developed Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, or ENIAC. Its enormous frame, of which brought about its continued reputation as the world's first. ENIAC was designed by the U.S. Army's Ballistics Research Lab to calculate artillery range tables, but it was also used in the Manhattan Project for nuclear weapon development. So just a great thing to have. That was a lot of zeros. Hold on. Damn it. It's not under new now. Is it under supercomputer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 4 and 17 zeros behind it. Explaining and predicting environmental changes on a global scale require far more precise processing power than ballistics calculations did. Yeah, no kidding. What's the arc of this bullet going to be is way different from what's the weather going to be in a dozen years if I fart facing northwest at 5:30 a.m. on January 13th with a force of 17 Taco Bell burritos. Very different calculations going on there. As such, it boasted some of the most advanced technologies available at that time. The completed supercomputer broke records and received praise from around the globe. However, the original Earth simulator's predictions were limited to only the Earth's atmosphere and sea currents. So what, might I ask, would happen if someone were to create an Earth simulator capable of predicting every event? All laws of physics, all natural phenomena, all activities exhibited by organisms, all of humanity, along with the societies and cultures they've built. If we could simulate any and every event on Earth, what would you make of the result? The result would be the reality itself, the consummation of our objective, the ultimate Earth simulator. Oh, true. Let's see what it says.
400 quadrillion.
There you go. It's 400 quadrillion. Perfect. Thank you, text-to-speech. Thank you. Allow me to introduce you to the completed Gaia. Flick. Thank you, Robin. I can't wait until we lose the context for that one. Atmosphere, sea currents, all laws of physics, all natural phenomena, all activities exhibited by organisms, all of humanity along with the societies and cultures they've built. So if he's correct and he's made a simulation that is so absolutely perfect, then he can, at this time, zoom in to presumably Japan, let's be honest, but wherever he is, into the building where he is, and he should see himself also projecting a simulation within the simulation. At what point does your computer power fail because you keep making simulations inside your simulations that are just, it's a fractal simulation. At some point in your simulation, they will learn how to simulate. Yeah. Not even necessarily paradox, because presumably at that rate they'd be using the computing power within their own maybe it's a paradox. Yep. Don't. It replicates every event. Every single... Oh. So it does, then. Okay. What is this? It turns out he's just playing them for fools. And it's just a mirror. It's just one of those double mirrors. That's it. And they're like, oh my god. That simulation is very room at this very instant. It isn't from the security cam, mind you. See, if you wanted to really show off, you'd make it a simulation of this room from like a second in the future. It can simulate any event at given time and space. This is from shortly before your arrival. You know, anything can show the past. It's the future. He's a problem child, but considering all the profit we can expect, it's worth coddling him a bit. Ah. So at this rate, even if it's not a simulation, it's a top-tier spy network. So, you know. I'd like to check the simulation's accuracy, if you don't mind. Was this what you said earlier, word for word? I apologize for being a problem child. It makes the bear bow too. Please no. Thanks to your patience and coddling, Gaia has finally come to completion today. I guess its big weakness is it's only on one world line. Otherwise, it would have the power to know what time travel, how to do time travel, but it doesn't because this isn't that world line. Please refrain from invading our privacy. Oh my. I'm awkward at smiling. Again, all you're really proving right now, this individual human simulation is simply, all you're proving right now is that you potentially have a really good spy network. He hasn't shown anything in the future. He hasn't shown anything that couldn't have been reasonably captured by simply having spy cameras installed. This is at least 3 generations ahead of the other countries. What do you think, sir? This is far beyond my expectations. Now, here's something even more interesting. Yes, shooting somebody in the room is, I guess, technically interesting. Well, that's, I mean, okay. Please remain calm. He was a spy from another country. You know. So outdated in this modern age. Stabbing people? Ugh. I mean, bullets are obviously the future. Would you mind changing the security team right away? To a team that's actually competent, please? Anyway, if you could look at the screen. The spy over there is still alive. In the simulation, I exposed the spy, driving him to take a hostage in an attempt to escape. So the simulation isn't perfect then. You know, it's fine. As you can see, in the simulation, both died. Wow. The simulation's outcome differs from the actual event. But why? Because I influence the future. Yeah, but can't anybody do that? You and the spy got into a scuffle and... Unfortunately, you were killed. The spy was subdued, but he bit off his tongue and died. By shooting the spy before that happened, you were able to save a precious life. Feeling you didn't get stabbed to death? You know what? It's another good one. I believe you understand now. This is no baseless guesswork. An event can be observed without a flaw. Any event. And the results can be used to influence the events in reality. Thus, we can learn about our future and change it. I know, imagine if you would, the benefits of such power. I know about, you know, I want to say 300 or so people who might be mildly interested in this. Slightly. It's a little. It's incredible. The project is finally complete. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. 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 In the stock market, nothing. Yeah, I mean, yes, in real life, but I meant specifically in the universe of this game. There's probably a committee that is composed of roughly 300 members that might be very interested in this. I like that this is Sonic congratulations. Imbeciles. Or a project. Yeah. They really don't get. No, they don't. Like, I don't like him because he tried to kidnap the girl, and we don't know why he tried to kidnap the girl, so obviously it's not great. But, like, yeah, he's got a point. He obviously did all the work for this, and they just kind of, you know, paid some of it. They're like, look what we did. It's like, no. No. No, that's not how this works. Still don't like him, but, like, I get that aspect. Yeah, you know he hasn't moved. That building could collapse and he'd just stay in the box in the rubble. Oh, you're here already, huh? We're arriving soon. You know what? I've not saved in a while. When in doubt, save. Let me start a new one. Okay. Can't miss it. Oh, okay. It goes vertically. Got it.
It's magic.
Taku is the easiest to simulate. Yes and no. Yes, but he is also a gigglomaniac and can straight up just do anything. I mean, he won't because he's Taku and all he cares about is his anime waifu and playing Final Fantasy XIV online. But, you know, to be honest, he doesn't even play 14. He'd play like Blade and Soul. Like, he definitely plays like one of those like Korean MMOs that's like super grindy, but as long as you're willing to grind every minute of every day and also pay to win, it's also like you can win. So, oh man. Her power level, you can't simulate that. Do you know what? Maple Story is one of those games that at the time I kind of wish I'd gotten into. But like, so there's no, like, it would be crazy to get into it now. Black Desert Online. Yeah, I said Blade and Soul, but I was also thinking Black Desert Online. I basically consider those, like, even though I've played neither of them. Sports Modern Active Liz. I don't think he'd do that, but I don't think he'd have a moral reason to not do that. I just think he'd be like, oh, WoW is so mainstream. I wouldn't touch that. I don't think Activision would even play into his mind there, but he'd absolutely be too much of an MMO hipster to play it. The best oof. It's a good one. Though surrounded in every direction by shining buildings, not even the Shinjuku crater was immune to the dark of night. With the reconstruction focused on the outer edges, the deeper parts of the crater were saturated with silence and darkness. There they are. Oz, Tengen Ozutani was standing on a construction platform sticking out from the ground and looking down into the dark. There he saw his beloved car, now little more than a pile of scrap. Oz, you're way too down like a sad old clown. If it's broken, you just gotta fix it. The girl beside him, Nonoka Hosho, tried to console Oz, but her words only upset him further. Do you have any idea how much it would cost to restore her in this day and age? It's your own fault for driving old cars. They heard footsteps nearby and were soon joined by a man. What's her arm? Good question. Oz, no. Yo. Kaoru, Asa's car is all beat up. Buy him a new one. I see. Looks like you've been through the ringer. Kaoru Samezu, Chief of TMPD, Cybersecurity Division Cyber Countermeasures Office, stood next to Oz and Nono, looking down. If I had to memorize a title like that for myself, I just wouldn't. Look, I told you, I got rammed by a bunch of like, technically I could take my job and I think I could stretch it out to something not quite that long. But I think my signature on my, like, business email is just, like, web design, which is not really accurate, to be fair, but it's fine. Web design, while it does kind of cover my job, it's not really an accurate statement. Like I told you, I got ran by a bunch of unmanned cars. It's probably a CAN bus hack, and the perpetrator must have been quite skilled to have controlled so many cars at once. Type of malicious cyber attack targeting vehicle systems. By 2037, vehicle technology has progressed far enough for them to have self-driving function by default. This requires various sensors, but those sensors are controlled by digital technologies that are as vulnerable to cracking as any computer, enabling malicious cyber attacks against vehicle systems. The CAN in the name stands for Controller Area Network, the mutual connection between separate vehicle systems, while bus is said to be computer speak referring to the pathway used for data exchange. Behind him were the battered vehicles of the construction workers. Was the Special Forces group behind this too? The Special Forces unit of the Japan United States Defense Force, or JUSDF, run by the Ministry of Defense, dates back to 2004 when it was part of Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, or JGSDF. They are said to be equal to the old U.S. Army's Green Berets, the U.S. Army Special Forces, and Delta Force, 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, and their headquarters are located in Camp Narashino. In 2031, the U.S. Army and JSDF merged to strengthen relations, with the resulting JUSDF being a Japanese-American mixed army. The Special Forces group became mixed as well. No, this ain't how Narashino does things. Imagine it was the woman you almost ran over. I'll have to take the driver record. Do whatever you like. Shrugged and changed the subject. So, what did you learn about the pair they were chasing? That's his... He would absolutely put that as his profile picture. Ooh. He was born 2 years ago. He was born 2 years ago. Pollen... Takaoka, ID number, date of birth, address, occupation, unemployed, notes, pro hacker, something. Kaoru turned on a TMPD issue tablet, displaying a certain person's profile. The boy is in TMPD's database. He's been arrested, huh? No, about half a year ago he got enrolled in one of our delinquent mentorships after participating in illegal grappa races. Kaoru shared the info with Oz's device. What about the girl? There's nothing on her. Is she the one they were after? Might have been both of them. Are they down there? Yeah. We'll take them into custody immediately. You're gonna search for them yourself? I called some subordinates. The police car pulled up with perfect timing. Its sirens muted. Yep. We're here, Chief. 3 oddly dressed women were inside. Those are your subordinates? They're officers of TMPD, Cybersecurity Division CCO, and idols, too. Police idols are real, and they can hurt you. Who are we supposed to look for? Kaoru shared with them the same info he'd shared with Oz. The boy is Pollen Takaoka, 16 years old. The girl is currently unidentified. Takaoka is a suspect in several counts of traffic light and power supply system cracking incidents, as well as speeding. The two are currently somewhere in the Shinjuku crater. Yeah. Let me get an arrest warrant. You aren't to arrest them, simply take them into custody. Refrain from using violent measures. Understood. I don't like the dark. You have lights on your shoulders! Stop being a scaredy cat, let's go. Immediately sounds familiar. This is what dystopias will look like. I swear I've heard that way before. Kurashina, I feel as if I'm forever saying this, but always remember to wear your cute smile. Ah, yes, you're right. Idols make smiles. And smiles make idols. I was about to say, absolutely sounded familiar. Named Bambi, triggered considering I'm currently watching Bleach. After a exchange with Kaoru, Bambi corrected her posture and gave a salute. We'll be going then. I like how they have their own theme music that follows them. The hell's that about cute smiles? The mission of all idols is a simple one, to share their smiles with fans and in turn make those fans smile too. Hey, those police cars on their shoulders are kind of cool. They are, aren't they? I'll bring you some merchandise next time. You got merch? Oh, Kaoru, I mean, if they're idols, of course you do. You always know just what to say. It's been almost 2 years since Sad Morning, huh? Sometimes feel as though the world has already forgotten all about it. Life is going on as if it never happened. Am I overthinking it? Maybe it's because the sites are fenced off and out of sight. But it's not like the stink's gone. Everyone's just putting a tarp over the mess and pretending it's clean. The blue badge. Yeah. You gotta get a little numb to it if you want to stay sane. So in a way, this behavior is very human? Exactly. Behavior like this proves we have souls at all, man. It took us a while, but we found a place illuminated by moonlight. It looked like a large shaft made to transport materials, and it seemed to connect to the surface. There were no ladders or steps, though, so it was difficult for us to get through it. Still, the moonlight alone was soothing enough. I wanted to sit right down and bask in it for a while. We'd been walking through dark subway tunnels and maintenance passageways for almost almost half an hour. Back then, the moment when we flung out of Oz's car, I honestly thought we were going to die. And we probably would have if we hadn't landed on a pile of soft stuff. That smooth landing probably saved our lives. You know, the soft stuff they use in hard metal construction. That soft stuff. Yeah. After that, we ran into the crater, thinking our pursuers might still have been after us. The Shinjuku crater restoration was centered around where Shinjuku Station used to be. In other words, the rest of the crater was being ignored for now. That's why there was nobody else around, making it the perfect place to hide. Momo was constantly looking behind her, like something was following us. Excuse me. She'd been on the run for a while, so I guess she was exhausted. Let's take a breather. We needed a moment to cool off and figure out what we were dealing with. Oh, I got a signal. Nakano Ward traffic restrictions lifted. Cool. Colin, are you safe? Hey, bro, I'm all good. I see. God, at least text me or something. I couldn't. I had no reception until literally just now. Here I was thinking the army had hauled you off. Come on, have I failed you? I mean, don't look at that first save file. Yeah, plenty of times. Where are you now? In the Shinjuku crater. I told him what happened after we were flung from Oz's car. That's what happened. Speaking of this Oz guy, he just left a comment on the Nakano Symphony's commissions page a moment ago. I've been doxxed already? That Oz guy sure was impressive. He says he wants us to contact him for an info exchange. Who is he? But no, we'll save that for later. First, I gotta get the army off our backs. Momo's not safe here. The army's... Ah. Momo let out a sudden yelp right as she sat down on a concrete block. Sorry, it was colder than I thought. Ah, yes. Surprising cold butt. It happens. She rubbed her butt as she spoke, trying to warm it. It's the end of November, and we were 20 meters underground. Stood to reason the concrete was cold. Please don't mind me. I'm comfortable in this outfit. She looked warm, but it didn't cover her legs. Okay. Looked around for something I could use. There was a big drum and a load of packaging styrofoam. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, Cross, keep going. According to the news, the army's retreated. Shouldn't relax though, huh? best place to shelter Momo would be... We better head back to Symphony, the place where we dox ourselves constantly. Help us out, bro. Didn't look like much, but our Symphony hideout had pretty good security. I mean, it probably wouldn't hold up against the army, but it was better than being here in a goddamn crater. Plus, I couldn't think of anywhere else. Saw a 4chan post saying the cops are gathered at the perimeter of the Shinjuku crater. Maybe they're investigating the scene? We should wait until they leave. I took the drum and filled it with styrofoam, plus a bunch of other flammable-looking stuff. When do you think they'll be around? It's an hour, tops. And that'd be when we could make our escape, most likely. Oh, man. Can you ask Dub to pick up my grabber? Right here. It's an operable, activating self-diagnosis mode. Self-diagnosis mode. I've been shot. After filling the drum with flammable materials, I reached into my pouch and took out my multi-tool pocket knife. I infiltrated all kinds of places on my Nakano Symphony's jobs, so it made sense to keep it at hand. It even had a lighter on it. Useful little guy. Motor's damaged. You sure overdid it, huh? It wasn't me. Those bastards put bullet holes through the rear wheel. Oh. Oh. Damn, that's fast. Isn't it still kickstarted? But also, it's not like we're going to have Tabletop Sim booted up already on Saturday or anything. That said, I also would be equally unsurprised if the Labyrinth game legitimately took 4 hours to play. I would absolutely not be shocked at all if the Labyrinth board game legitimately took that long to play. So, you know. It wasn't me. Those bastards put bullet holes through the rear wheel. Fired at you. I assume Tabletop Sim's gotta have all of the heckin' Sentinels of the Multiverse characters and expansions. One day, assuming they do, which they must, we're gonna have to do a Sentinels day. Sentinels is a damn fun game that not enough people have played. And it's PvE. So it's awesome. Yeah. I set the styrofoam on fire as I smoked across. Black smoke billowed out, but it wasn't all that harmful. Wasn't all that harmful, but man, you're gonna let people know where you are immediately, but okay. Fire! Momo walked up closer and clapped. The fire grew quickly. Is UGF some sort of VIP? But we're not like that! Leave the Graper to me. You keep your girl safe. She's not my girl. Jeez. So warm. Not much though, and it won't last long. But it was still better than nothing. Momo watched the fire with a vacant expression. I could only hope her nerves had settled a little. Oh, her tattoo's gone. Or he's just not looking through his device. Also, hey, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland Chat. How you doing, Kate? We anonymous coding. Momo watched the fire with a vacant expression. I could only hope her nerves had settled a little. Really good at building a fire. I put flammable stuff in a barrel and lit it on fire. Oh, okay, gotcha. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. It's a skill I picked up when Sad Morning struck. Eventually the game's going to have to explain what happened 2 years ago. But it's fine. We're only in the first 3 hours of the game. They don't got to explain dick now. It was the middle of winter. You know what that means? Without fire you die. So I had no choice but to learn how to do it. It helped that I had a lighter on my person. You know. I didn't play Conan or watch it. But maybe. Also, I've made this mistake before. I ain't looking up no VAs for any game. I don't look up anything for a game until I'm done with it. Because I've spoiled myself and stuff before. As have people in chat. So, like, you can look it up if you want. But, like, I ain't looking up nothing. And when it is, then that's just how it goes. You know. I've made that mistake in the past. And I've always kicked myself for it. Maybe Arc? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we have some sort of context. It was something really bad that happened 2 years ago that's left craters in the world, at least in areas of Japan. That's some context. The why and how, you know. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Momo's face suddenly turns gloomy as she looked up through the shaft at the sky. I got hiccups, thank you. Countless people fell victim to it. This is your first time in a crater. Yes. They were all exclusion zones, but I'd been to the Daikanyama crater before on some hacker business. Okay, so there's at least 2 craters. I hadn't seen one either until I went to Ochanomizu this morning and saw the crater there. At least 3 craters! I was shocked to think that it left scars so vast and deep the world over. Okay, the world over. Lots of craters. Cool. See, we're learning. Sad Morning is the code name for Third Impact. I mean... not everybody is liquid, is my one counter-argument to that. Not everyone has become LCL, but I guess even after Third Impact, people were crawling out of it. You know, well, 2 people, but, you know. One of them probably got choked. It's fine. Don't worry about it. With each of them claiming so many lives, Momo embraced herself and shuddered. Nobody was ready for it. Nobody saw it coming. People thought nothing of it, like it was someone else's concern, me included. I also like the giant cigarettes under... oh, we got some tips. The giant cigarettes under the tarp. There have been warnings that the year 2036 problem would be way worse than Y2K. Okay, well, let's read what these are. Year 2000 problem, aka Guilty Gear. Yes, correct. And Steins Gate Y2K is way different from regular Y2K as well. Cool. A problem based around the belief that old computers would malfunction as they entered the year 2000. Since old computers had to conserve memory, the years and dates were usually displayed as only the last 2 numbers. As a result, when the date changed from 1999 to 2000, those numbers would change from 99 to 00. Because there were no programs that accounted for this, some pointed out that computers may mistakenly recognize the year as 2000 as the year 1900. While the damage in most PCs would be minimal, certain people were worried that this could cause a catastrophe should it happen to computers used by utilities, the financial sector, and militaries. Because of this, experts all over the world spent the latter half of the 1990s updating programs and generally developing countermeasures to this problem. Owing to their work, the Y2K problem ended as nothing more than a passing concern. A worldwide computer malfunction caused by an NTP error in 2036. All computers connected to the internet use a communication protocol called Network Time Protocol, or NTP, to synchronize with the Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, in just a few milliseconds. NTP calculates the current time by adding seconds to the starting date of January 1st, 1900, and the value is stored as a 32-digit binary number. When the value exceeded the 32-digit binary limit, it reverted to 0, and since it happened on February 6, 6/28/15 UTC, 15/28/15 JTC, it became known as the year 2036 problem. Experts did program NTP to automatically transfer to a new system, but an error occurred and caused the sad morning, the single worst disaster of all time. Okay, so the sad morning is what Y2K would have been if it happened in the future where computers were everywhere. That's what we know so far. And because of that, experts all over the world did whatever they could to prevent it. I'd heard about that even as a child. Back then, it seemed like most people didn't even know what overflow errors might trigger. But all the adults assured everyone that they were prepared for it. That's why it was such a shock when something actually happened. There were 6 SA-4Ds that fired at Tokyo. The targets were... wait, what? Short for Strategic Attack for Defense, SA-4D is a network of satellites created by G26 to establish a lasting peace by neutralizing nuclear weapons. Central to a project to neutralize nuclear weapons by establishing a group of satellites capable of space-to-ground attacks, it was announced by G26 in 2026, right as people celebrated the completion of the Sagrada Familia. Just a few years afterwards, over 400 satellites were launched into the low Earth orbit, 600 to 1,200 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. However, the year 2036 problem caused them to malfunction on February 6, 2036. As a result, they fired upon the capitals of the G26 nations multiple times, resulting in over 5.1 million deaths worldwide. The event became known as the Sad Morning. I feel like we just got the entire answer right here. On that day, some of the satellites crashed into Earth, but most were left in low Earth orbit. The UN and all countries of G26 announced their intent to dispose of them by 2045. There you go. Sad morning. Yeah, that's true. The targets were Akasaka, Ochanomizu, Shinbashi, Azabu, Daikanyama, and Shinjuku. That's jeez. A lot of numbers. They were hit at almost the same time. You know, I could have been dead too. What? Turned out there were other cities that were potential targets. Oh, the tattoo's back. Okay. But one of the satellites that was set to strike, SA4D-0114, happened to stop functioning right before it fired. I mean, it doesn't have the, like, radiation fallout from nukes, but it seems like, yeah, targeted space laser nukes. Kinda. Like mid-game. Yeah. It wasn't clear which area would have been hit, but for all we knew, it could have been Nakano, which is where I was. Tons of people died that day, and even if you survived, you most likely lost a family member or someone close to you. New characters now. It seems to work pretty well for him. Yeah, it honestly looks pretty good. Not worse than nukes, but very numerous. Yeah, nukes have radiations that last, yeah. But, like, this has a lot of... This was still very destructive. Did you lose someone too? Yeah. My dad died in Shinbashi. Sorry. Huh? Why? You don't have to be sorry. Tilted my head. She looked at me, and I saw desperation in her eyes. No, I'm sorry. She really was a weirdo. Anyways, no one had the power to stop what happened that day. Not the politicians with all their influence on the world stage. Not the spiritual leaders with their millions of believers. Not the experts. Not the engineers. Not even the hackers with the mad skills praised by others as wizards. Thought a wizard was a totally different thing. Hackers are wizards. I mean, let's be honest. Many hackers are wizards. But I don't think... It's fine. We can make anything happen. Suddenly remember the saying my dad always came out with. Wizards, huh? My dad was a hacker. He worked officially as an engineer, but he had a side gig doing jobs as a white hat. Companies paid him to test security. That's true! Daru is not a wizard. He canonically absolutely is not. Shockingly so. I got my programming skills from him. He taught me when I was younger. He wasn't too passionate about teaching me, though, so my skills were still basically third-rate. He was a real workaholic, too. He cared so much about his work that he had no room in his life for me, or family in general. Daru is special, though, yeah. That's why my mother got fed up with him and left. I hadn't heard from her at all. I had no idea where she was or what she was doing. That's how it was growing up, and that's why I grew to hate him, and we pretty much stopped talking. Then the sad morning went down. Each of the SA4D attacks hit at different times, depending on the place. The Year 2036 problem led to them malfunctioning at the same time, but the attacks weren't simultaneous. The first payload target was Europe. Japan was slightly behind them, but only by a few minutes or so. Still, I had enough time to find out about the SA4D malfunction in Europe and contact my dad. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of people died in the initial hit, and there might have been... we're 2037, I think. They mentioned about 2 years, so... Yeah, if that many nukes had dropped, the world would be over. The world would be over. They wouldn't look back at it as like a tragic loss of life. There'd be no looking back. Everything would be dead. It's no competition. If all of those craters were nukes, it would be exponentially worse. Still doesn't sound like it was a good time, but yeah. Dad, where are you? You heard what's happening in Europe right now. Don't disturb me. Oh. See. I can't make out the poster. Bonk Fade Breakdown? Not Namaste 10 Bad? So that's all I got. He's very clearly got an iPad. Or an iPod Touch. and a big speaker and a bunch of alcohol. You know, as you do. Yeah, what's the VN without shitty parents, Bob? Just those cold words, and then he ended the call. That was our last conversation. Hackers are wizards. We can make anything happen. My dad. Hackers couldn't do shit. And it didn't matter whether they were script kiddies or the cream of the crop. None of them could do anything. To be fair, in the hierarchy of bad dads, his is just kind of absent. Like, I'm not saying he's good, but compared to some of the VNs we've gone through, he's harmless, just not helpful. I was a hacker too, but I only did it to make a living. I didn't actually like it. Oh, Mizuki's parents. Yeah, Mizuki's parents. Or, you know, Eureka's parents. Or Len's dad. Or, you know, so many parents in so many games. I wasn't like my dad. I wanted to be somebody who helped people in ways hackers couldn't. Hey, Momo, you need help. I'm right here. You can count on me. Yeah, kinda geese-houred it seems. He was just too busy with his work. Villains. Hey, true. Dio's dad was awful. Does it justify Dio? Probably not, no, but boy did he have a hard time. I don't care if I was being intrusive or nosy or whatever. If I couldn't help her, I'd just be the same as those hackers, the same as my dad. Where's Mizuki? That's fair. He wears yellow. Is he what happens if Mizuki and Asta have a child? But Momo wasn't exactly overjoyed. She didn't even nod. She just sat there with a troubled look on her face. What, Potts? What, you weren't... Okay.
What the fuck?
When I die, I want you to wipe the hard drive on my computer.
It's the end of the report. Once Graham Kingley finished explaining why the operation had failed, the stage was set for the others in attendance to speak up. That's a name, man. Graham Kingley. The Minister of Defense bore the brunt of the criticism. Oh yeah, Somnium Files. Or Nirvana Initiative, either or. Take interchangeable. Were you not supposed to settle this peacefully? How did things escalate this far? The restoration works may have familiarized the citizens with military activity, but this is ridiculous! You think media silence comes too cheap? And after all that, you still failed. You can't ban me! Heard you even overrode traffic lights and civilian vehicles. When did I ever allow cracking in public? Those were not the actions of our army operators. Do not misattribute it. Doesn't matter who did it. It's still a stick for the opposition to beat us with. We're already under fire from the public as it is. You made that account. There's no way you found somebody with that account name. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's somebody out there. No. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe you happen to find somebody with the name Ban Viper It Funny. No. No. You made that alternate account. If you have invented a time machine in the future and you have time leapt back to make that account, but the current version of you doesn't know that yet. It's the only excuse. Also, thank you for the gifted sub. However, it only empowers me. It does not ban me. It is appreciated, but it is not a banning. So, unfortunately, I can't believe that name. Would it make sense to blame the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for having given in to their demands so thoughtlessly? Demands that bypass proper diplomatic routes ought to be rejected immediately. What would you say to that? You honestly think Japan is so hard to refuse? The last 50 years have mutilated this country. Gift sub. Only Ramen occasionally does do the random gift subs to like relevant names. And once only, they actually showed up like, hey all, what's going on? And it was like, I don't remember which one it was, but it was like, just a comedic name that fit with, I don't remember what the name was. It was very funny though. The divide between the government and its people is so vast we need more than a few decades to fix it. Even after we formed the JUSDF, it's simply dismantled and incorporated into the US Army. 1999, yeah, it was a ways back. That's exactly the sort of thing that's left this country weaker than ever. We're not here today to discuss such things. Besides, this was all approved by the Prime Minister anyway. Well, thank you not to drag him into this. We must act as if this were something we decided on our own. We never demanded the mobilization of the army. What were we supposed to do exactly? We were to secure a girl we knew nothing about while refraining from investigating her altogether. It was simply absurd. Such things are beyond our control. We are not at fault. And even if we did use the army, what alternative did we have? They were the ones who could mobilize quickly and discreetly. I'm certain I informed you of this. And the other units would have necessitated half a year's worth of paperwork. Even so, using live ammunition was a bridge too far. The army does things its own way. We received a complaint from the Vatican regarding the failure of the operation. So, they want to strangle the one responsible? Failure rests on my shoulders. I am prepared to accept any punishment I deserve. I ask only that my subordinates be spared. No response came. No one present had the official authority to impose punishment on Graham. This meeting itself was unofficial and would remain off record. The awkward silence continued until the MLIT representative broke it. We should have used Gaia. That's a good point. Capturing the girl would have been simply using Gaia's predictions, wouldn't it? Or perhaps you did use them and failed anyway? Gaia some hunk of scrap incapable of finding a single girl? I very much doubt it. Indeed, Gaia exists to bring an end to this era in which the Vatican has power over us. Yes, clearly we need to stop the Vatican from having power in the future. Speaking of which, why isn't Soge here? I'm quite certain we called him. Todd Howard's clothes. No, it seems like a fun time, but that's one of those games that like I'll be happy to wait for a few years, catch it on sale for like $20, and just go ham installing mods on it and like have a good time with it. Seems people are having a great time. I know Ochi in the Discord is building crazy ships, and also that there's just a lot of games right now I'm playing. It seems fine, but it's not high on my radar, and I'll have no problem waiting for it to drop to a lower price. Yeah, if you got Game Pass, or if you're not playing other games right now, it seems like a legitimately good time. The mods, yeah, that's an issue. I feel like any type of Bethesda game is immediately like I have to use it with mods. Even if I only install stuff that's like, this fixes all the bugs that just were still in the game, you need those. And then you need, you know, posh mud crabs, and then it spirals downhill from there until you're playing a different game entirely, and it crashes every 5 minutes, but then it's your fault, not Bethesda's fault. That was when Ewan Okuda, who was standing next to Graham, opened his mouth for the first time since entering the room. Gaia has been inactive for the last 2 days due to the scheduled maintenance of the quantum computer unit. Ah, yes, of course. The head researcher is currently in charge of this operation, but thus cannot leave Gaia's side. I like that you can make your own Skylines too. Very cool. Never played the first one, but I know a lot of people like it. I like the concept that you can build your own ship in Starfield. I know like it took like 24 hours for somebody to just make the Normandy, and like that's cool. Customizable ships, hell yeah. I know that's a lot of what Ochi's doing too, so seems I haven't heard a lot about it, but the things I've heard seem fun. Yes, I imagine it would. Building your own ship can't be a cheap thing. The head researcher is currently in charge of this operation, and thus cannot leave Gaia's side. Yeah, it seems like a fun thing to like pour your resources into. There's also the possibility that forcing Gaia to operate while under maintenance would have caused further issues that would have taken even more time to address. The head researcher refused to gamble your Gaia on this mystery girl. Oh. Okay. So the kid's not actively looking for the girl. However, he did rendezvous with the unit as ordered while the operation was still ongoing. If you wish to complain regardless, please share your complaints with me, and I will relay them to him. The room fell silent. We did as the Vatican told us. That alone is enough. The results do not matter. This time the silence was broken by the Minister of Defense, the only one seated in a position directly facing Graham and Ewan. The work here is done. With those words, everyone in the room was freed from the troublesome matter, and the mood of the room became lighter. The Minister of Defense glared at Graham and Ewan. Resume your original mission. You will not be punished for this. Dispose of the documents you were provided, as well as all data you gathered during your operation. And tell Soga to do the same. Am I clear, Major? Yes, sir. Photocopy Nico part back instead. Ooh. Oh, you're right. Microsoft owns them now. So, like, oh, Bethesda stuff would be on Game Pass. Totally makes sense. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I've been bouncing between, like, 4 games, which is too many games to be bouncing between. Juice. Oh, man. Yes. Juice. So I knew exactly what was going to happen since it was my second time through. So he's telling her, okay. After passing the pedestrian bridge with the graffiti, my grapper was hacked and we were thrown off. Then that tatted baldy builder beat the shit out of me. In a great bit of CG. Yeah, many of us have recently discovered, and by recently I mean like 6 months, the joys of juicing. Yes. Next, the chopper carrying the boy with the bow tie took Momo away. Gotta love rolling dice. Yep. After that, I saw a screen on my BMI that I'd never before. And when I selected it, the world reset. I already knew that the army would be made to retreat, and I knew that Oz would drive by too. Ah, that's true. You don't have arms to roll. Let's see, you kick them. And everything went exactly as I remembered. Momo had no recollection of being flung off the grapper, or of being taken away by the chopper. None of that stuff has happened to this Momo. Holland, what could have triggered such a phenomenon is beyond me. But I do believe it's possible. Why is that? I myself had a similar experience earlier. Seriously? Although in my case it was more like, how should I put it? I suddenly saw it. I guess you could call it a vision. You're talking about what happened at the park? What is this? Why am I... No, this isn't good. Yeah, that was... Yeah, that happened. Jokes. Momo was speaking like she sensed danger back there, before the army actually showed up. The two of us surrounded by the soldiers, and one of them punching you in the stomach, knocking you to the ground. All of that in a split second. So she did have the echo. Well, I guess the echo tends to see backwards, but she did, yeah, it was the echo. Yes, and that was exactly what happened. Nagoya-Osaka maglev train set to open in 2039. Thanks, news ticker. It was different from what happened to me, though, that was for sure. Yeah, echoes backwards, but you know... Went out of it. Ah, fair. Some sort of precognition. Has anything like that happened to you before? Yes, a long time ago. But I saw many visions just today. Take the hit. No, she should have backslashed the army man. Remember how I said your face flashed in my mind before I met you? That was one of them. Mama Hyland. Mama Hyland will save all of us. Yeah. One may consider this as a miracle. Hmm? Miracle, huh? Was she the type to seriously believe in them? Was I supposed to play along? Saying nothing else, Momo fell silent, her face troubled. I had no idea what she was thinking, so I didn't know what to say. I figured maybe I should shut up too. Still had to make sense of what happened to me. So, the thing I needed to figure out was that weird screen I saw before the world reset. Was it a BMI app? If it was, I couldn't remember installing it at all. Thinking about it, I'd actually seen that screen before in video games. Yeah, it's where you manage your save data. There it is! Yes? It's nothing. Same window appeared over my BMI. Did it react to my voice? This was the save screen. Were all of these things saved data? This one didn't have a date though. Was it corrupted or something? It seemed kind of dangerous, so I decided not to touch it. How's it go? Want to overwrite save data? Yeah, this really was the save screen. I guess it's right. Next time it's on the save screen, I should try to save. See what happens. There had to be a load script too then. This is one I'd seen at the airport. How was I supposed to activate it? It seemed to react to my voice last time, but how could I bring it up in my head without saying anything? Right. Load screen. Come out! Come out! Come on! Hey! Hello? I'm good. Do something! I actually need to say it. I wasn't getting any kind of response. Show thyself, load screen. Hey, load screen! Activating load screen. Please show the load screen. Pretty please. Have a date on it? I don't think it did. That one? Yeah, no date. Oh no, that's 9, 10, 20. It does have a date, yeah. But it's the same date. Yeah. Yeah. So it's today's date, but that's the date in universe. Like I said, when you start the game, you have to load that file. There is no new game. There's only load that file. Please show the load screen. Pretty please? Load screen. Come out. Come out. Come on. Hey. Hello. No good. Do something. Did I actually need to say it? I wasn't getting any kind of response. Show thyself, load screen. Did I thought I just saved, but... Activating the load screen. Please show the load screen. Pretty please. Load screen. Come out. Come out. Come on. Hey. Oh. I'm an idiot. Well, I'm gonna go for this for a minute. I am an idiot. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, hey, look. Load screen. Please show the load screen. Pretty please. But I don't want to load it. Don't... Okay, hold on. I guess we can load the one we just saved. Here's the load screen, but it's reference. Ah, huh. Please save as new. Load that one. This one said new too. Yeah, we'll load it. Alright. Hey Velvet, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Thank you for the raid. How you doing tonight? No, this is... Yeah, no, this brings us back here. Unless it's supposed to? I don't even know at this rate. Also, hey Peach Drink, how you doing? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Oh, what were you streaming tonight? How was it going? Also, welcome to the newest of the SCIADV games. Also known as, you know, all those games with weird semicolons in the titles, like Steins Gate and Chaos Head and Robotics Notes. Oh, this is gonna be something, for sure. No! No, I guess this... I can't tell if this is new or Went out and downhill. Okay. Not something I've played, but hope it went well. Yeah. Okay, so we've... But it loaded this version of it, where things went bad. I'm trying to arcade thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never actually played one of the like Trials type games, but they seem fun. Let's see if I can go back. Oh, this game's already gonna mess with me, and I can already tell. Is there? Hold on. Is there also a shortcut for saving loading? Backlog, cursor. Oh, hacking trigger. I have to hit one of the triggers for that. Gotcha. Okay. That's it. I was wondering what those were for. RuneScape before that. Oh, very nice. I've been casually playing RuneScape for the past like year or so as my like background work game. Like my job just has periods of downtime. Basically code compiling. It's not exactly, but functionally code compiling. So like just faff about in RuneScape. But I think you play old school and I started RuneScape 3. So similar, but not overlapping. So I do believe they share an account, so I could play old school. There it was. How did this work? Was it deciphering my brainwaves? Did BMI have a function like that? If I loaded this data, would it go back in time like before? New homepage, is Ramen's fault? Absolutely, yes. However, if you ever decide you want to play 3 back-to-back games that are great stories and passable tactics games with a hell of a payoff at the end of it, you know where to go. I understand that your backlog means you probably don't want that right now, but if you ever get that urge to sink like 100 hours into 3 consecutive games, boy howdy is it worth it. But I understand. Like, I get it. That's why I had no problem talking about spoilers in chat with Ramen, because I was like, nobody else is going to play these, and that's fair. That's perfectly fine. I already knew nobody else was going to play it. But at the same time, they're really good. They're really good. Yeah, right. I felt stupid taking this shit seriously. I had to chill. Time is a one-way street. It can't be turned back. And even if it could, that sure itself wasn't something a BMI app could pull off. Then again, I could clearly remember going back in time. That was something that actually happened, no doubt about it. In all technicality, it is 100% my fault, but the thing is I played mine on PSN, whereas you played yours on Steam and you wrote a review for it, so it's recommending it to friends. But the actual blame for it would have to actually lie with me. Fair enough. Not for everyone. I had a great time with it myself. That was the only one aware that it had happened. Why was it just me? Time really did move backwards, and my own consciousness and memory should have been reset too. I was aware I was aware the whole time, though, and I remembered everything. The impact I felt when my grabber crashed and I hit the road, the wind blast from the chopper taking off, my powerlessness at the airport. Well, see, you were hyping it up, but by the time you were hyping it up, I was already in too deep. Like, I was already playing it, and I had already purchased all 3 games. Like, I was committed. Or physically can't. It's all good. It's all good. I vividly remember every detail. It couldn't have been some illusion. What was it then? Was I actually just seeing some VR shit right now? Did I dive into VR mode without even realizing? That would explain why I'd seen the same thing twice. When did it happen, though? How long had I been in VR? Since Momo appeared? Since yesterday's party at Symphony? Recent VR was so photorealistic that it was indistinguishable from reality. Sitting for that long of a thing. That's true. Like, each individual one is, like, not longer than, like, I'd call your average game these days. But, like, it's the fact that it is 3 of them. And the second 2, the last 2 are really one game split in half. And the first one isn't quite as good as the other 2, but is very much needed for world building, context, and story reasons. That's true. Compared to One Piece, Umineko is short. When the hell did I dive, though? Yeah, but when you compare something to One Piece, everything is short. That's the secret. Plus, there's no way someone could have forced me into VR mode while I was sleeping. To prevent all kinds of accidents, modern VR systems were designed not to allow non-permitted devices. Of course, hackers could mess up with those systems and force me to dive against my will, but I couldn't imagine anyone going that far just to make me see all this. Any other ways to explain the phenomenon where you experience the same few hours multiple times? Maybe there's something on the internet. First, there was the good old time machine. Was it my grabber? Was it way more advanced than I thought? No. Also, if I went back in time using a time machine, wouldn't there be two of me? Besides, time machines were also parallel worlds. Worlds that exist parallel to ours, but in a different space-time. They have the same dimensions as ours, and sometimes even share the exact same people and layouts. Thank you, Tips. Well, I did relive the experience and took different actions which led to a different outcome. Did that mean there were multiple worlds that I'd somehow moved between? But why did that happen? How did I do it? Yeah, this was just as absurd as the time machine idea. Then there was time leaping. Something this series knows nothing about. Japanese constructed term used to describe the act of moving through time as only your consciousness, transferring your mind into your past or future self's body. The term for movement through time along with your body is time travel. It made sense to assume my consciousness was the only thing that had gone back in time, given the state my body and the grapper were in. Would it really be safe to assume that, though? AI insomnia follows the time again. Parallel worlds are real. Oh, man. There was a fundamental problem with all these theories. Why wasn't my consciousness rewound? Or my memories? Was it because I was the only one who used the load screen? Was that why I was the one who went back along with time itself? But I'd heard consciousness was something people couldn't figure out. They had no clue where it came from, always asking, where's the self? But now we had an app that let you redo things in the past while keeping your consciousness and memories intact, and I just happened to be the one who used it? Trying to figure it out just confused me more. Didn't seem like I'd get answers anytime soon. No matter how much I thought about it, I never got any further than guesswork. For now, I'll just call this saving and... Yeah, of course that's what you're going to call it. Thanks, Pollen. Only one thing was clear to me. That my BMI had been hacked by someone. And this person had given me access to some weird app with access to the supernatural, or at least something like it. Trying to mess with me, huh? I tried checking the BMI connection logs. I hadn't done much of a deep dive, but I couldn't see any signs somebody had messed with it. My BMI had some tight security, and I'd installed some protection patches that were solid by my calculations. Did the hacker really bypass all that and break in? They need an insane skill to pull it off. You'd need to be like wizard tier. Was that dealing with one of the greatest hackers of my generation? Had I ever done anything to get someone like that on my ass? A chill went down my spine as frustration began to well up within me. Some hacker had done all this to me, and I couldn't even trace them back. It pissed me off. When? When was this function added to my BMI? Look back on all that had happened in the past few hours. The events of the day had been wild, but... yeah, it's been a wild several hours for him, yeah. Nothing really stands out. Yeah, when everything's wild, nothing stands out as the wildest. I had to get back to figuring this out. Could I save my own data in the empty areas? Did I just save, like, now? Seriously? Did it really create a save of the entire world just now? Damn, how much space would that file need? Not a lot, shockingly. If I tried loading the save data now, I'd find out whether I could use the save and load feature myself. Part of me was tempted to try it. Is this a good idea? Load? Huh? Guess I'm hungry. How about you? Yeah, me too. If your stomach hadn't rumbled, I might have actually tried to load. As far as I knew, though, it could still be a trap, so it's probably a good thing I didn't. Decided to postpone the test. Of course, I looked at the time and realized that almost an hour had passed since we started our little break. I was getting kinda hungry myself. Let's get going. I got up and told Momo to do the same. I'm actually going to save here. It's a little early, but it's an obvious scene transition. The scenes have been kind of long, and we're playing 3 more times this week, so I'm not really worried about like, oh, it's going to take us a week to come back. So, there's music here. Yeah, I know. So far, there haven't been a lot of areas without music, so I can't do my old fallback. So, yeah. Tomorrow is Baldur's Gate, Tuesday's this, Thursday's this, Friday's Yakuza, Saturday's Tabletop Simulator, the Labyrinth of Refrain game, Sunday's this. We actually got a fully planned out week. It's going to be mostly this, but it's going to have some good stuff sprinkled in, yeah. Like, Mitz has requested to be thrown for her birthday simulator, aka Baldur's Gate 3. Chaos. It'll be our first... I just hit the end of Act 1 on my playthrough today. We'll be starting a new file with the mod squad tomorrow. So, my personal playthrough is going a little slow. I just hit the actual end of Act 1. Like, just hit it. Barely did anything else. But this will be our first stream. It's me, Potts, Mitz, and Ramen. And the only request is Mitz is going to play a Halfling Bard, and they want somebody to throw them. So, I don't know. I do know that our last game, our Divinity 2 game, absolutely devolved into murder hoboism very quickly. Very quickly. We'll see whether this one does or not. I don't know. All I know is it's my job to throw Mitz. That's all I know. Yes, has explicitly requested it, but since I'm currently playing a sorcerer on my file, I figure I'll play like a big barbarian on the squad file. I don't know if numbers go that high, Sora. No. It already fits perfectly as, like, the opposite of what I'm currently playing. Like, not to say you couldn't also go a big barbarian, but, like, that's what I'm going with. Yeah. We got ourselves a monster, a quote. Oh, I didn't start my bot today. I was in so excited to get the game going, I didn't start the bot. So, a monster, a quote. Hey, that's good. And obviously, we actually have a few extra shoutouts tonight. We had Valve Earth with the Heckin' Raid, always good times. We had Ramen with the gifted sub to ban Viper It's Funny. And we had Birdie dropping their 66-month Tier 3 free subscription. Hot diggity damn. Yeah. Oh, they have a third mechanic. Cool, that's kind of what I was going. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Hope everyone had a good time. Game's kind of nuts already to start out with. We'll be playing more of it during the week. And yeah, that's what we got. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viper Survivor Land, and I'll see you all next time. Heck yeah. You're always welcome, and I don't know what type of chaos will be happening, but I can guarantee it's going to be some type of chaos. It'll be my first time actually doing Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer. I don't know what to expect except growing? We'll see. Yeah. See you all next time.